listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation. Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll. Play ball! Are you ready to let the good times roll? Are you ready for Kernels baseball? The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, and the Class A affiliate of the Anaheim Angels welcome you to Cedar Rapids Kernels baseball. Now, in his ninth season as the voice of the Kernels, here's John Rogers.
Hope your Memorial Day weekend's off to a terrific start, and we're glad that we can bring you some fun to spice it up here from the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Baseball, Midwest League action, the Kernels, and the Lansing Lugnuts. Good late Saturday afternoon. I'm John Rogers, and we look forward to bringing you the ninth game of our longest homestand of the season, an 11-game homestand. The Kernels have really played well. They've won 6 out of 8 on the homestand, including an opening series win over the Chicago Cub minor leaguers last night, coming from behind with 3 in the 6th and 3 in the 8th to whip Lansing 6-2. The Kernel record is at its high water mark, 9 games above 500, 28-19 in the Western Division's first half standings, tied with Kane County and Peoria. That's right, the Kernels, Kane County, and the Peoria Chiefs are in a 3-way tie atop the Western Division's first half standings. A special guest, we've told you that throughout the spring and summer, Bob Brooks will serve as a special guest on our dugout interviews. Brooks at Bat is featured this evening, or I should say late on this Saturday afternoon. We'll return with Bob in just a moment. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
Most of us have been in a situation before in buying an automobile where what we owe is more than what our vehicle is worth. And sometimes it's thousands of dollars. There is a better way to put yourself in a better position when it comes to value, quality, and reliability. Put yourself into an industry-leading Honda automobile from Randy Kiel Honda. The Odyssey minivan boasts being #1 in safety and the #1 minivan on the market for the last 5 years. The Honda Accord leads the way in safety and has made the car driver's top 10 list more than any other car in history. The Pilot topped the SUV categories in its first year out and remains class leader. And the CR-V continues leading in its class since its arrival in 1997. This compact Element is so functional and practical, they're selling as fast as they arrive. So doesn't it make sense to get the best value in the market at Randy Kiel Honda? Great folks to deal with, too, and #1 when it comes to getting you the best price. The home of Hobbits is Randy Kiel Honda, Centerpoint Road, or on the web at randykiel.com.
Bob, Memorial Day weekend means a number of things. When I was growing up, it meant doubleheaders all over the place. Those are a thing of the past now.
Yes, they are, and of course the reason is that Major League Baseball wants the revenue of not one game, but of the whole deal. They don't want to double it up or give you anything. There isn't any question about that, and basically the owners, because they've not been able to restrict themselves, they're in a position where they have to make as much as they possibly can to pay those salaries. And that's what these kids on Memorial Day weekend are trying to do, is get to the big show so they get some of that big pie.
You know, Bob, I'm glad you mentioned that both sides kind of trap themselves. The players with their salaries, and let's face it, the owners and players have kind of been adversaries the last 20 years especially, but before the union got so strong. But when I was a kid, I loved doubleheaders. They were really special. And it wasn't so much that you got 2 for the price of 1, although that was nice. It was knowing that you'd be at the ballpark for 6 hours with your family, your friends, your dad. Doubleheaders were, it's too bad kids can't have that chance now.
I didn't like broadcasting doubleheaders.
Now, broadcasting's a different story.
I didn't want doubleheaders, although we had to pray for rainouts, but then we had to pay for it, pay the price, because there wasn't any, at that time, no scheduled open dates. When I was doing games at the old ballpark, when you had the schedule, every day was filled. There were no open dates, and I had a rain dance I used to perform every once in a while to try and get it to rain. It never did, but I did the dance anyway.
Well, you know, Bob, in any time in a young broadcaster's career, and you did the Cedar Rapids games, you told us for a dozen years, you do run low on energy sometimes, and you need that night off, and then, you pay for it the next day. Bob Brooks at bat on the dugout interview Memorial Day weekend. You know what Pete Rose used to say, Bob, at the big league level about Memorial Day weekend? You can start taking the standing serious now.
Well, that's true, yes. You get to the play, and this is the same way in the Midwest League now. Memorial Day's turn, you got the Memorial Day turn, you have the mid-season of July 4th, then you have Labor Day and the stretch run. It's much like a horse race, and that's what we have going in the Western Division of the Midwest League and in the East, too, with what is going on. And the top teams are meeting this weekend. Memorial Day weekend has the Diamondbacks, farm team in South Bend, going to Kane County for 4. The second-place team, the Lansing Lugnuts, that's what they are.
They sold them a lot of merchandise with that logo and that name.
Yeah. And how many times have they had to explain what a lug nut is? Maybe since the advent of the popularity of racing, maybe that's become a common term.
Well, Bob, they have, and one reason is Lansing, as you know, is the home of auto manufacturing. It's part of the big state of Michigan's industry. Yet, ironically enough, Oldsmobiles are being phased out, aren't they?
Not only are they phased out, they're done. And I believe now in Lansing that they are making Cadillacs. I think that's they're finishing them off up there. You know what they used to do in Lansing was when they made the new cars, they drove them right out of the plant and put them on the sidewalk downtown in Lansing so that everybody could see the new product. They put them there before they got any showroom or anything like that. So it was, and Lansing has been hurt economically by that, but they have been helped with the Cubs organization with Pryor's 2 shows up there, and then Dempster's 1 performance up there, and then the Cub pitcher is going to pitch here Monday.
Yes, Ryan Dempster will pitch on Monday afternoon as we wrap up the 11-game homestand on Memorial Day. Bob Brooks at bat on this Saturday afternoon. The Kernels are about set to tangle with the Lansing Lugnuts in the 12th, in Game 2 of this 4-game homestand and Game 9 of an 11-game homestand. Come join us. As Bob said, it's a wonderful weekend to kind of start thinking baseball for real. We'll take time out and wrap things up with this edition. Brooks at bat next. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons is Cedar Rapids' exclusive downtown hotel. Make plans to experience a spectacular view from the top of the 5 restaurant. Start your day off with us for breakfast, or make a lasting impression on your business associates by treating them to our signature lunch buffet that changes daily. For any occasion, enjoy an elegant dinner or the Eddie Picard Jazz Trio in the city's only rooftop restaurant. The Crown Plaza 5 Seasons, top of the 5.
Bob, we've talked about the importance of the Memorial Day as a watershed mark, knowing who are for real and who are the pretenders and the contenders. I wanted you to reflect on something that I was taught as a little leaguer, and I saw in the Dayton series for the first time in years in this league, and that is I saw a kid on the Dayton Ball Club actually choking the bat up 3 inches. When I was growing up, virtually every little leaguer did choke the bat. When you were doing games, Bob, in the 50s and late 40s, 50s, and early 60s, did a lot of professional baseball players still choke up or not?
Well, it depended on how powerful they thought they were. If they were a hitter, say, who wanted to hit 300 and didn't have home run power, why, they did everything they could to get a base hit, a bunt, chop it the right side, or do whatever they could to get themselves a base hit, including arguing with the official score after the game about whether or not it should have been a hit or an error, because they were fighting for average. On the other hand, home run hitters in those days were the same as they are today. They swung for the fences. Probably they gave themselves up more than a home run hitter today would by trying to hit the opposite field after they had 2 strikes, or to hit behind the base runner or something of that sort. I think there was probably some more team effort in it than there is now. But here we have the Cedar Rapids Kernels leading the league in home runs. And I don't think that there is a ball player on this squad who would tell you that they were a home run hitter. There isn't one who said, hey, I've talked to Matt Brown quite a bit, and Matt said, well, I'm not a home run hitter, but he's leading the league.
You're right, Bob, and we have a treasured and cherished combination of the best power in the league and most stolen bases. Just like we don't try to hit home runs, we don't have a lot of guys that are real fast. They're above average, but they're very good base stealers. They get good jumps. Bobby Magallanes gives them the green light. They're truly learning the instinctual part of running the bases. Bob, I appreciate you taking time on Memorial Day weekend. It's very, very important that we finish with you reflecting on the meaning of this weekend, because there is a lot of holiday frivolity and time with family and baseball, and that's part of the tradition of Memorial Day. But another tradition is to pause and honor people who have given the sacrifice for our freedoms.
That certainly is true. And when the planning was being done on this Veterans Memorial Stadium, the one thing that I was most interested in was the Veterans Memorial, where it was going to be placed, how it would fit in with the ballpark and become really a part of the whole complex out here. We kind of knew where the fighter aircraft would go out on the beyond the center field fence, but the rest of the memorial had to be planned to integrate it with the ballpark so that the fans would see it and not hide it, that it was out in front where it was readily visible and available every single day of the year. And I have not come out here to the ballpark at really any time that I have not seen some people at that memorial, whether they went to the ball game or not. And I think that it is a fine tribute by the city of Cedar Rapids and its veterans organizations and the Cedar Rapids Ball Club in the city to develop something that will be long-lasting and I think is very, very meaningful, especially this weekend.
Bob, thank you. I couldn't have even thought better than you expressed the wonderful, wonderful, meaningful words. Bob Brooks at bat on a Saturday afternoon. Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll see you at the ballpark.
We sure will. Bob Brooks with us. Up next, the starting lineup, Team 2, Kernels and Lansing Lugnuts. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This is the time of year when people are giving and receiving lots of presents for weddings, showers, and graduations, plus the usual birthdays and anniversaries. Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling reminds you gift wrapping paper should not be disposed of in your blue recycling box. Instead, reuse your gift wrapping paper for other special occasions or put it in your regular garbage for collection day. Remember, don't put gift wrapping paper in your blue recycling box. Thanks from Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da-da-da! Hey, call the A-Team! Hey, Matt, thanks for having us over for the game, but, we could have had it at my house. My TV is bigger, and my AC works.
I thought you were supposed to get that fixed while your wife was out of town this week.
Oh, man, I totally forgot, and she's coming home tomorrow.
She's gonna kill you.
What am I gonna do?
You need to call the A-Team.
The A-Team?
Yeah, Ahern Plumbing and Heating. They can get your service in 24 hours, guaranteed.
I better call Ahern Plumbing and Heating right away.
Memorial Day weekend greetings, Eastern Iowa, and for all of those of you listening across the country on the Internet, we welcome you to Saturday afternoon baseball. The Cedar Rapids Kernels and the Lansing Lugnuts. Our Kernels overcame a 2-0 Lugnut lead last night with 3 in the 6th inning. Got terrific relief pitching from Aaron Pullen in relief of starter Abel Marino, and then iced the game with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Kernel record on this 11-game homestand now stands at an impressive 6 wins and 2 losses. We sit atop the Western Division first-half standings with Kane County and Peoria, all 3 clubs, 28-19. Our opponents, the Chicago Cub minor leaguers, the Lansing Lugnuts, are 28-20. They're 3 lengths back of South Bend in the Eastern Division first half pennant chase. The Kernels have fared very well on Saturday this season. They're 6-1. Let's set the starting lineups for the second game of this 4-game series. Remember, we'll be on the air tomorrow afternoon after the zone coverage of the greatest spectacle in racing. Indy 500 action comes your way tomorrow. We expect to pick it up here around 2:30 after the Indy 500 concludes. Julio Garcia is the skipper, 4th-year manager. He has the longest tenure of any current Midwest League manager. He is at the helm for Lansing. And the Lugnut leadoff batter is Chris Walker. He leads the league in steals with 24. Batting second and playing shortstop for Lansing is Carlos Rojas. Brian DePerick is at first base. DePerick hits third. He's tied with our own Matt Brown for second in the league in homers with 11. Kevin Collins will serve as the designated hitter and cleanup batter. He's Lansing's best slugger. He's 5th in the league in hitting, leads the league with 13 home runs. Kevin Collins, the DH, bats cleanup for the Lugnuts. Alan Rick will catch, and Rick will bat 5th Lansing. Hitting 6th at second base, the league leader in triples with 6, Robinson Chirinos. Ryan Fitzgerald will bat 7th for Lugnuts. He'll be in left field. He did not play last night in the series opener. At the hot corner is Drew Larson, and he'll hit 8th. And batting 9th, Carlos Mejia in right field. On the hill for the Lugnuts, a 6'3", 165-pound right-hander, Bear Bay, B-E-A-R, just like the animal you'd find in the wilderness. Bear Bay is from Angelina Junior College in Lufkin, Texas. He was a 25th round pick of the Cubs in 2002. Bay is a 4-3 hurler, making his 10th start of the year, no complete games. A record of 4-3 for Bear Bay and an ERA of 3.29. That's the starting lineup for the visiting Lansing Lugnuts. Allen Motor Company, celebrating their 101st year with a birthday bash of unparalleled magnitude, is proud to bring you the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Your first year's maintenance is free at Allen Motor Company during their birthday bash, celebrating 101 years of business in our community. 2004 GMC Sierras start at just $15,995 during Allen's 101st birthday bash. 2004 Buick Rainiers, brand new, start at just $32,847. That's a savings of over $7,000 on 2004 Buick Rainiers during Allen's 101st year birthday bash. Your first year's maintenance is on Allen's during this special celebration. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup on this Saturday afternoon, leading off in center field, switch hitter Con Cosby. Batting second and playing second base, he's 3rd in the league in hitting, Howie Kendrick. Howie Kendrick, hitting .341, will bat second and play second. Hitting 3rd in the Allen Motor Company order and serving as the designated hitter is Bobby Wilson. Bobby's 7th in the league with a .325 average. Matt Brown is tops in the league in RBIs with 41. Matt will bat cleanup and play 3rd base in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup. Batting 5th, Matt Pauley at first base. The Kernel shortstop for the second straight game is Sean Rodriguez. Sean will hit 6th. Blake Balcom's in right field, and Blake hits 7th in the Allen Motor Company order. Batting 8th, he was 3 for 4 last night. Got the Kernel 3-run 6th inning started with an opposite field 2-out or 1-out double. Left fielder Nick Kimpton. And hitting 9th and catching for the Kernels, Tommy Duenas. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, on the hill for his 10th start of the spring, 19-year-old Kernel right-hander Kevin Jepson. Kevin is 4-1, a 2.44 earned run average. Jepson coming off a start Monday here at home against Dayton. He went 4 2/3, gave the Dragons 1 run on 2 hits, fanned 6, walked 3. That was a game that was suspended in the 6th inning due to rain, and Kevin was not involved in the decision. A Kernel 2-1 victory that was completed the next night, Tuesday evening. Well, that's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, proud to present the Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring duo. Bob Davidson, the 51-year-old former big league umpire, will work the diamond, and his partner behind the plate, Chris Bakke. Anderson Brown Eye Care is a Bausch & Lomb contact lens specialist, and Anderson & Brown Eye Care is a leading dispenser of contact lenses in our area. Anderson and Brown Eye Care has locations inside LensCrafters in Westdale Mall, Coral Ridge Mall, as well as North Park Mall in Davenport. Chris Bakke calling the balls and strikes. Bob Davidson on the diamond. That is our Anderson and Brown Eye Care umpiring crew. The St. Matthews Cost Cutter Dream Team is taking the diamond. It's St. Matthews School Day here this afternoon, this evening, and a little bit later on we'll be enjoying a visit from one of the students at St. Matthews. Lonnie Thorsten, our Director of Entertainment, coordinated this wonderful turnout. Over 400 expected from St. Matthew's School. It's just off Mount Vernon Road, and they have a terrific group of kids and parents and their principal, Joe Wolf, earlier throughout the game's first pitch. We have a couple of finals to pass on to you. In fact, a few finals from earlier this afternoon on the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. The State Farm Major League Scoreboard brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson. Let's start in the National League this afternoon. The Braves scalped the Phillies at Bank One Ballpark 9-3. In the American League at Fenway Park, it was the Mariners shading Boston 5-4, and a final from Kauffman Stadium, the Royals crowned Minnesota 5-2. They're in the bottom of the fifth inning, and our parent club trying to break a four-game losing skid with a 5-run fourth inning. The Anaheim Angels lead the White Sox at Comiskey 5-0. Bottom of the sixth inning at Skydome, the Blue Jays 2, Texas 0. Everything else this evening in the American League, the Yankees in Tampa Bay play at Tropicana Field. The Athletics and Indians will lock horns at Jacobs Field later tonight, and Baltimore takes on the Tigers at Comerica Park. In the National League, later this evening, the Mets in Florida at Pro Player Stadium. At Miller Park, it's the Brewers and Padres. Cincinnati takes on the Expos. It's the Cubs and Pirates at PNC Park. Los Angeles entertains Arizona later tonight, and the Rockies play the Giants at FBC Park. The Colonel take the field. Fifth graders from our schools in the spotlight this evening, St. Matthews. Fifth graders from St. Matthews are assembled behind the dirt batting circle, and they'll now face the grandstand. Let's enjoy the introduction of the St. Matthews Choir.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join in the singing of the national anthem being performed today by fifth grade students from St. Matthew's School.
Terrific job by the fifth graders from St. Matthew's School. The Cost Cutters Dream Team members are now dashing off the diamond after the Kernels have signed their Cost Cutters Dream Team soft toss baseballs. Dib Williams is our in-studio engineer on this Saturday afternoon. The Kernels have taken 6 of 8 on their 11-game homestand and look to make it 2 in a row over the Lansing Lugnuts. Kevin Jepson on the hill this afternoon. Kernel Baseball is next on The Zone. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
Been looking to buy a used car, truck, or van? If so, head to Select Auto now. All vehicles are priced to sell with bottom line pricing. Monthly bills getting you down? Can't afford the car of your dreams? No problem. Select Auto offers payment plans to fit around your budget. Select Auto also offers great warranties on all cars. Not to mention their experienced and friendly staff in their full-service service department. Hate being chased around the lot by those annoying salespeople? At Select Auto, you won't be bothered by any salespeople. You deal directly with the owners. Got bad credit? Not a problem. They offer financing for any credit, good or bad. Still not sold? Purchase any used car over $5,000 and get $200 in free gas. Hurry in. This deal only lasts during the month of May. What are you waiting for? Visit either of Select Auto's 2 convenient locations on 1st Avenue downtown Cedar Rapids or on 7th Avenue in Marion. Select Auto, a great way to buy a pre-owned car.
Partly sunny, partly cloudy, a 79-degree Saturday afternoon as Kevin Jepson gets set to face Chris Walker, Carlos Rojas, and Brian DePerick on Memorial Day weekend. Kevin Jepson with a 4-1 record, 19 years old, and a 2.44 ERA. Kevin, last year with the Kernels, was 6-3 before an elbow injury sidelined him for the rest of the season. He was taken to the Angels in the second round of 2002's draft out of Sparks, Nevada. Kevin Jepson. And setting the Kernels for you defensively, first in the outfield, Nick Kimpton in left, Quan Cosby in center, and Blake Balkum in right. On the infield, left to right, Matt Brown, Sean Rodriguez, Howie Kendrick, and Matt Pauley. Brandon Wood continues to be sidelined with a tender wrist. He's day-to-day. The Colonel catcher this afternoon is Tony Duenas, and the Colonels start play in a three-way tie for first in the Western Division's first half standings. 28-19. The two teams were tied with Kane County. They're hosting South Bend in Geneva, Illinois this evening, and Peoria is at home in downtown Peoria, and they'll take on the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. O'Brien Field is where the Chiefs play. I had to think about it for a moment because we haven't visited O'Brien Field yet. We will to wrap up the first half of the season just before the All-Star break. Here's the left-handed hitting Chris Walker, standing in and taking a fastball just outside, apparently. Ball one. Chris Walker, a left-handed hitter, 23 years old, slightly open stance, and he's a speedster. Nothing for two last night, but he was hit by a pitch on a two-strike count and scored in the first inning. Then he drew a leadoff walk in the eighth inning when the Colonels led it 3-2, but was picked off by Abel Marino. Walker bats from a deep crouch, and the 2-0 from Kevin is in there. A strike called on the outside edge. Matt Brown is in on the grass at third, guarding the line. Chris Walker hitting .281 with a league-high 24 stolen bases. He slaps one into the net foul, and it's 2-2 to the Lugnut leadoff hitter, who taps his spikes, adjusts his black and white batting gloves. He wears his black socks up high. Lansing with gray road uniform with red stripes, red numbers trimmed in black, and they wear red batting helmets. Swing and a miss. Kevin Jepson with smoke. 94-mile-an-hour fastball on the McDonald speed pitch indicator underneath the Rockwell Collins game link, and there's one out here in the Lugnut first inning. The batter is Carlos Rojas. He is hitting .241. No homers, 13 RBIs. Rojas steps out. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. He was caught trying to steal second base in the fourth inning. Carlos takes a strike called. Rojas is from Venezuela. Last year with Mesa in the rookie league out in Arizona, he hit .235 in 47 games. Kevin Jepson with the next pitch, and it's slapped on one hop. Good play behind first on a backhand stop by Matt Pauley. Then he tosses underhand at Jepson covering, and Carlos Rojas was robbed of a hit on a terrific fielding play at first by Matt Pauley. Matt had to go far to his left, backhand, a one-hopper that had all sorts of nasty backspin on it, and then he underhanded it to Kevin Jepson, and they beat the batter by a step at first base. They're showing it on the Rockwell Collins instant replay board. Jepson had to cover first, and the toss was about 20 feet from the first base line behind the bag to get the batter. Now here's a broken bat single into left, dumped over the head of Sean Rodriguez by Brian DePerick. DePerick swinging at the first pitch, broke his bat. In fact, the barrel of the bat winds up almost all the way out to Sean Rodriguez's shortstop position. Brian DePerick stepped into the first pitch from Kevin Jepson. and broke his bat and singled into left field. One on, two out, and the batter's Kevin Collins. Kevin Collins is fifth in the league with a .333 average. He tops in the Midwest League with 13 home runs. He skips the rope to get out of the way of a pitch low and in. The sun wants to come out and shine on all those great kids, parents, and teachers from St. Matthew's School in the Papa John's Plaza bleacher section down the right field line. Collins, a tall left-handed batter, 6'2", 210. And he hits one in the air to left, down line, and it's going to tail foul onto the Randy Keelhoffman Picnic Pavilion. A couple of our guests standing on the Mix 96.5 FM Westdale All Home Run hot tub have yet to decide to go into the hot tub. Kevin Collins, even on the count 1-1. He doubled in the sixth inning last night, was 1 for 4. He shoots one foul into the sweep just to our left. 2 out. A runner at first for Lansing. The Lugnuts are 8th in the 14-team league, and Kevin Jepson accidentally balked. Kevin was coming home, and he slipped on the rubber. Kevin Jepson slipped, and that's a balk. Jepson was about to come home, and he got his spikes caught in the rubber and stopped his motion home, and that's an unintentional, well, every balk is unintentional, but that was an unusual balk. Ken lost his footing of all things. Collins in the hole, 1-2. Grounds one to Howie Kendrick, and Kevin Collins is gone to end the Lansing first inning. No runs for the Lugnuts. A 2-out single, a balk, no Kernel errors. 1 left for the visitors. And after 1/2 inning, Memorial Day weekend, we're sure glad you're along with us. It's Lansing nothing, and the Kernels coming back. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, everybody, gonna get on down. Hometown Restyling. Hometown Restyling. For all your remodeling needs, satisfaction guaranteed. Hometown Restyling specializes in all of your home's interior, exterior needs. Visit our showrooms, one in Hiawatha, one in Coralville, and see the incredible possibilities. Windows, siding, sunrooms. Give us a call at 378-1221.
Renowned for his blazing fastball, Iowa's Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller earned the nickname Rapid Robert. The baseball immortal performed miraculous feats no matter which name he was called. The same holds true for Banks Heating and Air Conditioning. They're now known as Comfort Solutions by Banks. The new name, Comfort Solutions by Banks, brings with it the same quality and dependability you've counted on for years. Receive up to a $1,000 rebate or up to a 10-year extended warranty with the purchase of qualifying Dave Lennox Signature Collection home comfort systems from Comfort Solutions by Banks. Offer expires May 31st, 2004. Lennox, make your home a better place. Lennox dealers include independently owned and operated businesses. See your participating Lennox dealer, Comfort Solutions by Banks. Details.
The Goodwill T-shirt hot dog blaster, the most exciting 90 seconds here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. They get the crowd revved up after the first half inning. It's just left the field. It makes its way around the warning track, and with the bazooka-like apparatus, blasts up T-shirts with the Goodwill logo on it, as well as hot dogs. Quan Cosby, the switch-hitting leadoff batter for the Kernels, left-handed hitter, center fielder Quan Cosby first up for the Kernels. The fastball is taken outside. Quan was 1 for 5. He's facing a very thin, slightly built right-hander, Bear Bay. They list Bear at 155 pounds. It's ironic. His nickname is Bear, but he's built like a gazelle. A bunt foul to the screen, evens the count to Quan, 1-1. Quan Cosby, 10 steals. He's only been caught twice. He had a beautiful bunt single in last night's ball game, but was picked off, and that is a caught stealing. Bear Bay has a record of 4-3, and he's making his 10th start of the year. His ERA is very good, 3.29, and he delivers a fastball on the outside corner. Strike 2 to Quan. Quan steps out. He's using a black lacquer bat, and he bats with an open stance. The Colonel homestand record stands at 6-2. Bay delivered in the dirt for ball 2. A helicopter hovers up above. Let's see if Captain Bobby Ratcliffe from Copter 9 will wave down to us. And I mean, that helicopter is hovering almost as though it wants to land down in the center field area. It's getting a little bit lower. Perhaps Bobby wants to get a better look at us here in the broadcast booth. Swing and a foul by Quan Cosby. And the count remains 2-2 to the Colonel leadoff batter. I think that is Newscopter 9 with Bobby Ratcliffe aboard. For some reason, he's circling around the center field area. Now he's coming right over the Rockwell Collins game. Quan shoots one hard into left center. Extra bases. Past Ryan Fitzgerald to the base of the wall. Quan will round second. He's trying for third, and he is saved with an exhilarating, thrilling leadoff triple. Quan's team-high 5th triple of the year. He tagged it hard, lashed it just to the left of the outstretched glove of Ryan Fitzgerald in left, and Quan was sinking 3 all the way. Man, these Colonels run the bases well. Quan Cosby at third with nobody out. Bottom of the first inning, Howie Kendrick shoots one down the right field line. Extra bases. Colonels lead at 1-0. It gets by Carlos Mejia as Cosby scores. Kendrick rounds second. He's trying for third. Back-to-back triples. 1-0 Colonels. Back-to-back triples by Cosby and Kendrick have given the Colonels an early 1-0 lead. Howie went the other way and banged it to the right of the right fielder, Carlos Mejia. As Cosby scored to make it 1-0, Howie Kendrick took the same pass to third, a well-worn pass. 2 straight triples by the Colonels, and it's 1-0. Runner at third, still nobody out, and the batter is the red-hot Bobby Wilson. A breaking pitch from Bay is high. Quan Cosby tripled to lead the game off, and Howie Kendrick followed with the same. Bobby Wilson takes a curve low and away for a strike, at the knees. Bobby 7th in the league with a .325 average, 3 homers, 26 RBIs. Right-handed hitter, straightaway stance. Ball 2 just missed downstairs. Wilson drew a bases-loaded walk in the 6th inning last night that tied the game at 1. He was 1 for 3. Kendrick at third with nobody out. A curve, and that's looped into center, and it will fall. It's 2-0 Colonels. Howie Kendrick trots home. Bobby Wilson remains red hot. He's now hit safely in 16 of his last 17 games, and he didn't hit it particularly hard. Tomahawked it off his trademark and dumped it into center in front of the speedster Chris Walker, and the Colonels have given right-hander Kevin Jepson an early 2-0 lead. Out to the hill is the Lansing pitching coach Mike Anderson, and Bear Bay has given up 3 hits and 2 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. It's 2-0 Colonels. As Mike Anderson talks it over with the Lansing right-hander, this Colonel club continues to have a astounding month of May at the plate. This is May 29th. 2 more days to go. Tomorrow afternoon and Monday afternoon, 2 o'clock games. The Colonels are 2nd in the league in hitting, batting .269. They lead the league in home runs with 51. They lead the league in stolen bases with 58. Bobby Wilson being held at first, and Matt Brown tried to check his swing on a pitch down and in. He went around. Well, I thought he went around. Now it says ball 1. I guess he held up. I thought for sure he swung. Matt his sacrifice fly in the 6th inning last night put the Colonels ahead 3-2. He was 0 for 3. His RBI was his league high 41st of the season. Fastball, low and in, ball 2 to Matt Brown. First three Kernels are on here in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back triples by Cosby and Kendrick, and then a Bobby Wilson RBI single. Lifted into center. The 2-0 to Matt Brown. Low, ball 3 apparently. Well, it's a strike. Apparently it was low. It was over the plate rather, but low. Matt hitting .252. 51 home runs for the Kernels, and this is our 48th game. There's a strike on a 3-0 delivery. Wonderful to see. Folks enjoying the Saturday afternoon action out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left. They're there from Erskine Advanced Imaging and DW Products. On the Miller Mezzanine above the Colonel First Base dugout on the suite level, Lang Roofing Company's here this afternoon. A throw to first, and Bobby Wilson dives back in safely. 2-0 Kernels, top of the first inning. The Colonel record at home this season, 17 wins and 10 losses. Brian DePerick is holding Bobby Wilson aboard at first. Bobby not running, and a swing and a miss on a changeup by Matt Brown. It's a full count now to Brownie. A couple of kids on the left field hillside with their gloves, ready to chase any foul ball that might come their way. And the Papa John's Plaza section is full of kids and parents and teachers from St. Matthew's School. The payoff delivery to Brownie, up and in, ball 4, and the Kernels have their first 4 men on here in the bottom of the first inning, already lead it 1-0. Bobby Wilson to second, Matt Brown walked, and now Matt Pauley could make it a huge first inning for the Kernels.
First baseman, Matt Pauley.
Pauley hitting .303, 3 homers, 24 RBIs. Matt's a left-handed batter. Wears his white trousers down near the tops of his black shoes. You can hardly see any of his red socks. In fact, most of the Kernels wear their pants that way, with the exception of Blake Balcom. A high, lazy fly into left. Underneath it's Ryan Fitzgerald, and he makes the catch for the first out of the first inning. Matt Pauley, first pitch swinging. Flies to left. Bobby Wilson held at second. Matt Brown at first. 2 on, 1 out for Sean Rodriguez. Sean's hitting .279. 4 homers, 15 RBIs. The right-handed hitter, 19-year-old from Miami, Anaheim's third-round pick last June. He drove in a run and scored a run in the Colonel 3-run eighth last night. Rodriguez bats from a deep crouch. And a curveball is high and in from the slim right-hander, Bear Bay. He's from Houston. He's 6'3", and they list him at 155. He's so thin and slender that it would appear that a strong wind would blow him right over. His next pitch is upstairs to Sean. It's 2-0. Lugnuts in second place in the East. 3 games back of South Bend. The Kernels in a 3-way tie atop the West with Peoria and King County. Rodriguez fouls one straight back. It's 2-1 to Sean. He steps out. Outfield plays Rodriguez straight away. Chris Walker playing rather shallow in center. Infielders at regular depth. And a pitch stroked off the end of the bat onto the grandstand roof back of home plate. Evens the count to Rodriguez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-0 Kernels. Bottom of the first inning. Ooh, a fastball just below the knees, and it's a full count now to Sean. Let's see if Bobby Magallanes turns the runners loose. Wilson at second, Brown at first, 1 out. Bottom of the first, and a full count delivery from the Lansing right-hander, Bear Bay, headed home. Runners not going, ball 4, down and away. The second walk drawn by the Kernels in this inning, and the Kernels already lead it 2-0. They have the bases loaded with 1 out, and the 7th man to bat in this first inning is Blake Balcom. Blake was 2 for 4 with an RBI single in the Colonel 3-run eighth last night. Blake Balcom has his average up to 275. Blake's girlfriend, a Florida State Seminole, playing in the NCAA Division I College World Series in Oklahoma City. Blake got to see her on television 2 nights ago. He rockets one foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Strike one. Blake pulling it hard, but foul. He steps all the way out of the dirt batting circle onto the grass. Balcom's a right-handed hitter. 3 homers, 16 RBIs on the season. Wilson at third, Matt Brown at second, and Sean Rodriguez at first. A big hook is high, and it's 1-1 to Balcom. 400 feet to dead center here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. 8-foot-high green padded wall, and above that 8-foot-high green padded wall, a dark green batter's eye, a 25-foot-high net. Another big Uncle Charlie. This one is a strike at the letters, and Blake is in the hole 1-2. Bear Bay has pitched 52 innings. He's been a workhorse for Lansing, given up 55 hits in 52 innings. Fanned 48 batters in 52 innings, walked only 10. Yet the Kernels have drawn 2 walks here in the bottom of the first inning, trying to add to a 2-0 lead. Time is called as Alan Rick, the Lansing catcher, trots out to the mound. The Lugnut pitching staff is ranked first in the league, 2.89 their earned run average. Blake in the hole 1-2 with the bases loaded. Ball 2 just outside a fastball. Lansing has made 51 errors in 48 games. The Kernels on the other side of the coin have only made 31 errors in 47 games. An error really hurt the Lugnuts last night in the Kernel 3-run 6th inning. The 2-2 to Blake. Swing and a miss. A good off-speed breaking pitch, and Blake Balcom is done in by it. 2 out, bases loaded, and now the batter Nick Kimpton. Kimpton will try to deliver a telling blow early in this game. Nick, a 20-year-old Australian, 3 for 4, started the Kernel 3-run 6th inning with a 1-out double last night. Both good news and sad news to report. Kernel 6-game winner Micah Posey has been promoted to Rancho Cucamonga, and we wish Micah the best. Ball 1 is low to Nick Kimpton. Micah Posey, with his 6-0 record, has joined the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and who's to say he won't reel off 6 wins for the Quakes? Right-hander David Austin has joined the Kernel Ball Club. A looper into center, but right at Chris Walker. Walker had Kimpton played into left center. That's where Nick struck it for the final out of the Kernel first inning. Nick Kimpton flies to center. 8 men bat in the Kernel first inning. The Kernels scored 2 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 walks, no Lugnut errors. The Kernels leave the bases loaded. And after 1 inning, it's the Kernels 2, the Lugnuts nothing. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
Hi, this is Dave Town with 5 Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. 5 Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, 5 Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Back-to-back triples by Quan Cosby and Howie Kendrick, and then an RBI single by Bobby Wilson have taken Kevin Jepson and the Kernels to an early 2-0 lead on this Saturday afternoon. You have the barbecue pit fired up. Are you going to use your porch for the first time this spring? Are you grilling out? Are you going out to eat, or are you here with us here at the ballpark? Wherever you are, we're sure glad you've invited us into your Memorial Day weekend. Kernel Baseball will play tomorrow. The Superstars will be here. They are giant, animated, gyrating baseball-like characters that put on a great show. Some of the names: Clammy Sosa, Shark McGuire, Cow, C-O-W, Ripken Jr., just to name a few. Harry Canary, Ken Giraffe Jr. Let's give you the phone number, 896-7560. That's the number to call for Kernel tickets. And then Memorial Day, Monday afternoon, we'll also be here at 2 o'clock. Alan Rick, a tall left-handed hitting catcher, takes a curveball, a fastball rather, low from Kevin Jepson. Rick, 1 for 3, singled and scored in the 5th inning last night to put the Lugnuts ahead 2-0. A knee-high fastball is a strike call to Rick, a 4th-round pick of Chicago Cubs in 2002. He's only 20 years old, and he went to school in Florida. Alan Rick shoots one off to the left foul, strike 2. Alan hit .257 with Boise last season. 6 homers, 20 RBIs in 50 games. He's in his 3rd year of professional baseball. Just 20 years old. Alan Rick, R-I-C-K. And he taps one foul behind home plate. It hits off his back foot and rolls a few feet fair. It's still 1-2 to Alan Rick. The numbers 5, 6, and 7 men here in the top of the 2nd, with the Kernels leading Lansing 2-0. Last night, several of our interns reported seeing dozens of folks walking around the concourse with Chicago Cub hats or T-shirts on. So, Cub fans, this is your weekend. You get to see future Cubs here as Lansing Lugnuts. Swing and a miss, a high fastball, and Rick could not get around. The second strikeout by Kernel right-hander Kevin Jepson. That was just power pitching by the Kernel right-hander. He challenged Rick, and Kevin Jepson won that battle. Robinson Chirinos was a Lansing Lugnut a year ago. Hit .232 in 108 games. This year he's batting .234. Chirinos, a right-handed hitter with a straightaway stance, takes ball 1 low. Robinson was 1 for 4 last night. This is his 4th year of pro ball. There's a strike in on the inside corner. Chirinos is a Venezuelan. 6'1", 185. Matt Brown playing even with the base at 3rd, 10 feet off the line. A comebacker to Ken Jepson. He'll run it halfway to 1st. Underhand to Matt Pauley. 2 gone in the Lansing 2nd inning. 2-0 Kernels. We had a big crowd here last night of over 2,600. And another very impressive crowd here this evening. Down below, we hear some cheers for Ryan Fitzgerald. Why? Well, he went to Indian Hills Community College down in Centerville, then on to Creighton University, and he is from Des Moines. Ryan Fitzgerald has a lot of fans down below. He takes ball 1 low. Ryan Fitzgerald batting with the bases empty, 2 away. Ball 2 is upstairs. Fitzgerald was taken by Cubs as a non-drafted free agent out of Creighton. He's 23 years old, right-handed hitter. Ball 3 is above the letters. Kevin Jepson's fallen behind Ryan Fitzgerald, 3-0. Ryan didn't play last night. He's batting .260. Has a home run, 10 runs driven in. The 3-0 from Jepson. inside corner at the knees. A light breeze is blowing out of the south. That means blowing from home plate towards right center field. You can hear from the crowd reaction below that Ryan Fitzgerald has drawn a 2-out walk. Fitzgerald aboard for Drew Larson. Drew is hitting 165 on the year. He singled in the 5th inning last night to load the bases. Helped the Lugnuts score a run in that 5th inning to take a 2-0 lead. Kernels rallied for 3 in the bottom of the 6th, 3 more in the 8th, and won it 6-2. A throw to first, and tiptoeing back in is Ryan Fitzgerald. Drew Larson from Salt Lake Community College is from Utah. He's 21 years old, a 9th-round pick by the Cubs last year. Hit .259 with Boise. Fastball upstairs from Kevin Jepson. 79 degrees was our game time temperature. A high pop foul, and Tommy Duenas may have it measured. He does! Tommy Duenas played it beautifully. Halfway between the backstop and the plate, Tommy Duenas discarded his mask and caught the foul pop off the bat of Drew Larson. No harm done despite a 2-out walk by Kevin Jepson in the Lansing second. No runs for the Lugnuts. No hits. No Kernel errors. Lansing left a runner. They've stranded a pair. The Kernels come to bat for the second time this evening, holding a 2-0 advantage over the Lugnuts. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Would you like to meet Cedar Rapids Raiders Kenyon Murray and Tina Oliver and help a great cause? I'm Scott Unash from the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM, and I'd like to invite you to the 4th Annual Celebration of Sports Banquet and Auction. It's Tuesday, June 8th at 5:30 at the Collins Plaza in Cedar Rapids. We'll be awarding the Lynn County Male and Female Athletes of the Year, plus we'll have 2 Special Olympians and much more. If you support local sports, make plans now to attend. Tickets $25 and tables of 10 are available. Proceeds from this event help support East Central Iowa Special Olympics and the Sports Tourism Fund at the Cedar Rapids Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Call the Celebration of Sports hotline at 319-398-5383, extension 121 today to make your reservation. Join me, Scott Unash, in the Zone at the Celebration of Sports Banquet and Auction, Tuesday, June 8th, 5:30 at the Collins Plaza in Cedar Rapids. Remember, call 398-5383, extension 121 to make your reservation.
Hey, honey, we're getting out the grill tonight. Get some hamburger out of the freezer.
Let's just go to North Country.
Come on into North Country Steakhouse. The huge grills are always hot and ready for your choice of beef, pork, chicken, or seafood with all the fixins, like sauteed mushrooms and onions, and the potato and salad bar. All with no setup, no cleanup, no hassle. It's always grilling season at North Country Steakhouse. The front house cooks are always ready to assist you. Don't feel like grilling? They can do it for you.
Hot coals, juicy steaks, yummy margaritas, and no cleanup. This is grilling.
Cedar Rapids North Country Steakhouse, home of the best steaks around on Blair's Ferry Road, Northeast.
Bear Bay is thin as a rail, and he's set to go here in the bottom of the second inning. Tommy Duenas hits one deep to left, on to the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. A leadoff home run belted by Tommy Duenas. 3-0 Kernels. Tommy Duenas got a pitch to his liking, and he pulled it high, deep, and far onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left, his 4th of the season, and Tommy Duenas has now upped the Kernel lead to 3-0 here with an opening home run in the second inning. The Kernels continue to hit the long ball. A changeup is low, ball 1 to Quan Cosby. He got the Kernels started on the right foot with a triple to the left of Ryan Fitzgerald in left, and he scored on a Howie Kendrick triple to right. Quan on a 1-0 pitch bunts foul outside third. 1-1 to Quan Cosby. Quan's triple was his team high 5th of the year in the first inning. Up chopper to second. Robinson Chirinos drops it, picks it up, and still gets Quan Cosby The first out of the second inning. Robinson Chirinos dropped that two-hopper as he was transferring it from his mitt to his throwing hand, but he recovered in time to get Quan. Howie Kendrick tripled in Quan and scored in the Colonel two-run first inning. Howie with a .341 average, batting for the second time this afternoon. Ball one is low. Kendrick last night 0-for-4 with a walk. Howie hit .368 with Provo last year. So his .341 average this season is not a surprise. Strike one on the outside corner to Kendrick. He tried to hold up on a fastball and couldn't. Strike two. Bear Bay pitched last Monday in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he was a winner against the Whitecaps. A curveball is dribbled foul towards the third base Lugnut dugout. Last Monday night against the West Michigan Whitecaps in Grand Rapids, this right-hander went 6 innings, giving up just 2 runs on 6 hits. He fanned 5 Whitecaps, walked 1. Kendrick shoots one in the air foul off to the right. Count remains 1-2 to Howie. Another 1-2 offering is rolled weakly to second. Robinson Chirinos down to grab it and on to first to get Howie Kendrick. Howie was jammed and rolled it off his thumbs to second. After the leadoff homer by Tommy Duenas to open the second, the next 2 Kernels have been retired on assist from Robinson Chirinos at second. Here's Bobby Wilson. Bobby, .325 hitter, 7th highest average in the league, gave the Kernels a 2-0 lead in the first when he singled in front of center fielder Chris Walker, driving home Howie Kendrick from third. A changeup is in the dirt. Ball one to the Colonel right-handed hitting, slugging Bobby Wilson. He's not catching this afternoon and this evening. He's DHing, and a changeup from Bay Bear is a strike called, or from Bear Bay. You could call him either, couldn't you? Bear Bay's a funny name. Here's a line shot past the pitcher into center. Bobby Wilson is 2 for 2. Man, can Bobby Wilson ever open your eyes up with his good level swing. He told us on the dugout interview earlier this spring when he started to come to life with the bat how much he enjoyed taking batting practice from his father. His dad's been in law enforcement his whole life, is currently a sheriff down in Florida. And Bobby said his dad used to work out his schedule so that he could come out and watch Bobby play most of his high school games. Bobby was a high school teammate of former Colonel and Anaheim Angel Casey Kochman. But Bobby had a big smile on his face when he talked about how much time his dad would give him throwing him batting practice. Matt Brown drew a walk in the first. He takes a fastball low. 3-0 Kernels, bottom of the second inning. A high, deep smash into right center will get over Chris Walker's head, I think. No, he caught it. What a sensational running catch in deep, deep right center by Chris Walker to take an RBI away from Matt Brown and take a run away from the Kernels. There's great speed by Chris Walker as he darted way out into right center field and made the catch almost 400 feet away. Matt Brown flies to deep center. 1 run on a leadoff homer from Tommy Duenas in the Kernels' second. 2 hits. There were no Lansing errors. The Kernels leave a runner aboard and have left 4. We head to the top of the third inning. Memorial Day weekend, and it's the Kernels 3, Lansing nothing. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurant has something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs at any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco. Limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
There's a dream to life, ain't no hard to tell you. Oh, one of a kind, this is your time, just for you. Ride up, be strong, originality lasts a whole lot long. Nothing better, Dr. Pepper, the taste of
3-0 Kernels. We go to the top of the third inning. What a thrill it was between the bottom of the second and the top of the third. A thrill for our Culver small fry, Connor Collins from St. Matthew's School. Connor was taken out to the diamond and got his Culver's cap autographed by Colonel first baseman Matt Pauley. Then Mr. Shucks presented our Culver small fry, Connor Collins, with a free certificate good for a free kids meal at either of the Culver's frozen custard and butterburger restaurants. Carlos Mejia, a tall, slim, right-handed batter, lines one right at the cap of Matt Brown. He reaches up, and looky what I found. Matt Brown with a snow cone catch. He's sharing a chuckle with Sean Rodriguez, the shortstop. Matt Brown on a whistling line drive took a base hit away from Carlos Mejia. Oh, Mejia absolutely crushed that first pitch from Kevin Jepson and hit a frozen rope to third. Matt Brown reached up, and with a lot of the ball showing, a snow cone catch. 1 out on 1 pitch. Carlos Mejia, the number 9 hitter, lines to third. Now lifting one foul. Straight back of the plate over the screen is Chris Walker. Chris struck out to open up the action earlier this afternoon. We're in the top of the third, 3-0 Kernels. Walker bounces one on 2 hops to Matt Pauley. Pauley won't have an easier play all season. He gloves it and then takes a step and a half to his left for an unassisted putout. Chris Walker bounces to first, and there are 2 away in the Lugnut third inning. We've out-hit Lansing 5-1, lead the game 3-0 here in the top of the third inning. If you'd like your son or daughter to experience the same thrill that Connor Collins did this afternoon, that is getting to be the Culver small fry and take the field between innings of a Kernel game and get the autograph of their favorite Kernel player and receive that certificate good for a free meal at Culver's, just stop by either of the Culver's frozen custard and butterburger restaurants and register in the white box. It's that simple, and perhaps your son or daughter will have the thrill of their summer as the Culver's small fry of the game. An 89-mile-an-hour fastball paints the outside corner to Carlos Rojas. It's 1-1. Rojas, a right-handed hitter, batting .241. Grounded out Pauley to Kevin Jepson covering in the first inning. Now ball 2 is taken away by Carlos Rojas, one of the few guys in the league who doesn't wear batting gloves. And he hits a rocket to straightaway center. Quan Cosby has to take 3 steps to his left to reach up and grab it. A hard hit drive by Carlos Rojas into center for the last out of the Lansing third inning. Kevin Jepson has given up 1 hit, an infield single, in 3 innings of work. And for the first time this afternoon, Kevin mows down Lansing in order. After 2.5 innings, the Kernels on top of the Lugnuts, 3-0, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks the loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
We chose Zimmerman because our family has been buying cars. I guess we're probably the 3rd generation to buy cars here at Zimmerman's.
My family's bought 18 cars at Zimmerman's. 18. I ought to get a little bonus or something, right?
We build our reputation on one satisfied customer at a time. On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
When it comes to fun in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, nothing compares to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub. As you bask in the soothing comfort of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub, you'll be taking in the action from a breathtaking perch just above the left field wall. Register for your chance to be drawn as the winner of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Home Run Hot Tub by visiting Westdale Mall.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. The Freedom Festival Great Cardboard Boat Regatta is Sunday, June 27th. Your mission is to build a boat from cardboard capable of racing the course 3 times. Cardboard courtesy of Warehouser is at the Stickle Warehousing Parking Lot, 308 29th Street Northeast. The Great Cardboard Boat Regatta, part of the Cedar Rapids Freedom Festival, June 24th through July 4th. Further instructions for this mission are online at www.freedomfestival.com. This recording will be very wet.
3-0 in favor of the Kernels as we go to the bottom of the third inning. The Kernels are gunning for their 7th win in this, the 9th game of an 11-game season-long, 11-game homestand. Matt Pauley steps in from the left side and holds up on a pitch just low. Oh, he went around, according to the base umpire, Bob Dixon, positioned 30 feet behind first base. Struck one to Pauley. Matt first pitch swinging in the first inning flew out to left. A curve is low from Bear Bay. I asked the Lansing broadcaster, Seth Van Hoven, if he knew how Ronald Bear Bay got his nickname, and he couldn't honestly say. But I will say what I said earlier. It's not because he's built like a bear. He's built more like a rail. Perhaps he was up in Alaska, where my brother lives, and a bear found him, and he ran away from it. Who knows? Matt Pauley on a 2-1 count tops it foul to the base of the backstop. Lovely 79-degree Saturday afternoon, soon to be Saturday evening. Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim Angel organization. Former Colonel Ramon Ortiz continues to struggle in the first 2 months of the season. Here's a line drive, but right at the third baseman, Drew Larson. Oh, Matt Pauley tattooed one, lashed it to third, but it was caught by Larson, and turnabout is fair play. Remember, the Lansing Lugnuts opened the top of this third inning when Carlos Mejia took the first pitch from right-hander Kevin Jepson and hit a bullet to third baseman Matt Brown. Pauley hit it hard, but to the third baseman, Sean Rodriguez. Looks at a curve for a strike. Ramon Ortiz last night at Comiskey Park was the loser. It was Paul Canerco single off the former Colonel right-hander that did the Angels in. Former Colonel catcher Bendy Molina, 2 hits and an RBI. This afternoon at Comiskey Park, they were in the 6th inning or the 5th inning rather, and Anaheim led Chicago 5-0. Here's a high, deep drive foul outside the right field line. It's 1-2 to Sean Rodriguez. Arkansas lost to Frisco 6-2. Former Colonel outfielder Nick Gorneau belted his 6th home run of the year, and he had a couple of hits. But Arkansas, the Angel AA affiliate, lost 6-2. Ball 2 is high to Sean Rodriguez. From right-hander Bear Bay, he scoops a little bit of dirt off the top of the rubber to dry his right hand off, and now the next pitch is driven in the air to center, high in the air, and drifting over to his right to make the grab is Chris Walker. Sean Rodriguez flies to center, 2 away in the Colonel 3rd inning. Rancho Cucamonga in 11 innings turned back Lake Elsinore 5-4. Former Colonel David Gates had the game-winning hit. And Gates had a 2-run homer that tied the game at 4. Mike Napoli had an RBI single for the Quakes. And Von Sturtbach, who was a relief pitcher with us earlier this spring, won the game. He's now 1-1. Von David Sturtbach. A breaking pitch in at the knees to Blake Balcom. Bay is trying to retire the Colonels in order for the first time this afternoon. Base is empty, 2 gone. And a deep drive to center sends Chris Walker away back on a warning track. He has it. Blake Balcom hit it 390 feet to dead center, where it was caught by the speedster Chris Walker. 2 hard-hit balls by the Colonels in the 3rd, but nothing to show for it as Bear Bay retires us in order for the first time this afternoon. We go to the top of the 4th inning, and the Colonels lead Lansing 3-0. You're tuned to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Quiznos Kernels Kids Club members. Did you know that your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card is good for more than just great deals at the ballpark? That's right. By showing your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club membership card at any of the Cedar Rapids Quiznos, you'll receive a free small drink when you buy a Quiznos sub. That's a free small drink with the purchase of a Quiznos sub when you show your Quiznos Kernels Kids Club card.
Quiznos. Toasty.
Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support one of our community's most renowned and cherished assets, the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees believe in the core values that comprise the essence of Colonel baseball: fun, wholesome, affordable entertainment for us all. As you look ahead to the mid-joys of summer, your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees encourage you to visit the fabulous new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees, embracing Colonel baseball, a community treasure.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all the sounds come out of. At your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
Our special guest is here for St. Matthew's School, and I can't wait to tell you what Eric Casey is wearing this evening. Eric, I had no idea that you were a second-grade teacher at St. Matthew's, and you're pretty adamant about your love of the Chicago Cubs. Tell our listeners what you're sporting.
Well, I thought tonight I better wear over my blue Cubs hat and my light blue Cubs T-shirt, so I'm having mixed emotions out here tonight. I come out to the games all the time and, enjoy watching and cheering for the Kernels. But like I said, I'm kind of split tonight.
Eric, I understand completely. When the St. Louis Cardinals almost made it to the World Series 2 years ago, and they would have played the Anaheim Angels. And I just had to tell myself when the Cardinals were at Busch Stadium, I would root for them, and then when the Anaheim Angels were at home, I'd root for them. Unfortunately, my Cardinals didn't quite make it. The San Francisco Giants did, and of course, the Angels won that World Series.
No, all right, well, I guess I have a different opinion now. I knew that you're a Cardinals fan.
Don't hold it against me, Eric.
Okay.
A strike to Brian DePerick. Well, Eric Casey is part of a marvelous team of both educators and spiritual leaders over at St. Matthew's, and we visited there earlier this spring, a swing and a miss on a curveball, and Kevin Jepson's ahead of Brian DePerick, the heart of the order for Lansing in the top of the fourth inning. The Kernels have out-hit the Lugnuts 5-1 and hold a 3-0 lead. Brian DePerick, one of the best hitters in the league with 11 homers, 31 RBIs, takes outside. Eric Casey, what grade do you teach there at St. Matthew's?
I teach second grade.
And how many second grade classes are there at a school St. Matthew's size?
There's just two of every grade, K through 5.
And how long have you been there?
This is the end of my second whole year there.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you're kind of beyond being a rookie and not quite a veteran.
Yeah, I'm in the middle there. Got my feet wet and things are going great.
I can tell they are. When we visited there earlier, well, I'll relay what some of the feelings we had about it. Ball too low to the right-handed hitter DePerick, and now a slider downstairs. Ball 3, according to Bob Davidson, a former big league umpire working the diamond here this evening. For one thing, Joe Wolf, the principal, had a big smile on his face and greeted us, said, "John, we're so happy you're here on behalf of Toyota Financial Services." Swing and a miss. DePerick couldn't get pitched down and in, a fastball, and that's the third strikeout for Kevin Jepson. And isn't it amazing, Eric, how the principal or the top person at any school kind of sets the tone for the attitude and the outlook there?
Oh, you couldn't have been more right. Joe's just a great guy. The kids love him. He's always got a smile on, and it just really gives a whole positive aura about the school.
It really does. And another thing that was very gratifying about St. Matthew's is what a feeling of fellowship and family there was there. And I don't say that in a corny way. It's hard to put your finger on it, but the kids were more than just schoolmates. It seemed like they really were a school with a lot of spirit and respect for each other.
And I think that's part of what our job as teachers to give that message to the kids, and then they do a great job. And I think, like you said, family's a good word for it. It's just a big loving family. Everybody gets along, and it's just a great school.
It's 2-0 to left-handed hitter Kevin Collins, and this slugger leads the league in homers with 13. He grounded out the second and the first. A 2-0 changeup from Kevin Jepson's a strike called. One away, top of the fourth, and Saturday afternoon is about to turn into an early Saturday evening. Swing and a miss. That was power pitching and a big cut by Kevin Collins. He's even on the count now, 2-2. Eric Casey, I remember getting to show the kids the rewards they can earn from the Toyota Financial Services summer reading program. The 2-2 is popped foul down the left side by Collins, the DH and cleanup batter. And they seem so eager to get started. They sat in the bleachers there in your beautiful gym, and before we left, they sang us a song. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
With so much spirit. They were quiet the half hour and attentive and respectful and courteous, but then they came to life.
Yeah, that's our little song to show our St. Matthew's pride.
And it's well evidenced in the right field area in the Plaza section, the Papa John's Plaza, over 400 from St. Matthew's School. It's a full count now as Jebson missed away to Kevin Collins. A deep drive to center, but Quan is going back. It's going to be over his head, off the wall, just to the left of the 400-foot sign, and trotting into second with his 15th double of the year, Kevin Collins. Eric Casey, when they say that the big guys hit and they go, that was a good illustration because Quan, for a moment, looked like he might have a play, but that thing just soared over his head.
Yeah, it was really slicing off to the left as well.
Quan took it off the wall and held Collins to a one-out double. And credit Kevin Jebson. He did not walk the batter. He made him earn his way on. Now the tall, lanky, strong left-hand batter, Alan Rick, at the plate. Alan opened up the second inning and fanned. 3-0 Kernels, top of the fourth.
You know, John, I thought a couple weeks ago we might come out here and see Mark Pryor pitching. I was keeping my fingers crossed for that one, but
we came close, Eric.
Yes, we did.
He's in Des Moines. I think he pitches tomorrow, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
We'll get another guy you might see later with the Cubs for all the injuries they've had. They have 9 guys on the disabled list. Ryan Dempster he'll pitch Monday. Here's a high pop foul drifting beyond the reach of Tommy Duenas and Matt Brown, well up into the third base seats, and it's strike 2 on the batter, Alan Rick. Eric, where did you go to first high school? Well, where are you from originally? Where did you go to school and college?
All right. I'm originally from up in the Dubuque area. I went to high school at Western Dubuque, up in Epworth, which is a little west there. And then I came down to Cedar Rapids and went to school over at Cole College.
Oh, you went to Cole?
Yes, I did.
Fantastic.
And, yeah, so.
They have a terrific teacher education program. A backdoor curve is outside. It just missed.
Yeah, so I...
Where did you do your student teaching, Eric?
It's funny you should ask. I student taught right at St. Matt.
You did?
Yes,
they liked you and you liked them.
Yep, it was a match. So I really lucked out, and they had a position opened up the next year, and so I kind of got my foot in the door that way. So
strike 3 calls. Outside corner at the knees to Alan Rick. Well, congratulations, Eric, because that is really the ultimate form of commendation is when you come in as a volunteer. That's what a student teacher is. I didn't get paid as a student teacher. They still don't pay student teachers. And the ultimate form of a job well done is they would tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, we have an opening. We think you're the guy.
Yeah, well, like I said, I kind of lucked out, but, you know, hopefully it's working out great for everybody. I know it is for myself.
Robinson Chirinos puts Lansing on the board as he slices an extra base hit into right center. Blake Balcom will get it back in, but not before Chirinos drives in the first run of the evening for Lansing, a double into right center by Robinson Chirinos. 2 doubles in the 4th inning, and Lansing has cut the Colonel lead to 3-1. Eric Casey, how many kids in your 2nd grade class at St. Matthew's?
I have 16 this year.
Oh, is that an ideal number? Eric, just about a month and a half ago, before Easter, the Gazette published test scores, and I know test scores certainly don't say anything about things like character development and moral standing that St. Matthew's also feels is just as important as academics. However, you need to know that the Catholic schools rated very, very high on the standardized test.
Yeah, and you know, that's a testament of, you know, the teachers and the parents. You know, we just have such great parental support, and that, you know, it goes beyond what words can explain.
You're right. It takes more than just a good teacher or a good student. It takes the right administration, the right atmosphere, the right learning tools, and, of course, number one, the parents. They make or break a student's progress. Ball 1 is outside to right-handed hitter Ryan Fitzgerald. Now a pitch inside. Kevin Jebson showing first signs of trouble as he's given up a couple of doubles and a run here in the top of the 4th, and he's followed behind Ryan Fitzgerald from Des Moines by way of Indian Hills Community College in Creighton. Here's a little base hit into right that'll cut the Colonel lead to 1 run. It's 3-2 in favor of the Kernels. The throw home by Blake Falcom late, and even though the Kernels have out hit Lansing 5-4, their lead has been whittled to 1, 3-2. Ryan Fitzgerald went the other way. Did hit it hard. It was a Texas League looper in front of Blake Falcom, and with 2 out, Robinson Chirinos scored standing up. And a couple of 2-out base hits by Lansing have given the Lugnuts 2 runs here in the 4th inning. The Colonel lead has been whittled to 1, 3-2. Drew Larson ended the Lansing second by fouling out to Tommy Duenas. Let's see if Kevin Jepson can get out of this tough 4th inning. He surrendered 2 runs on 3 hits. A throw to first, and diving back in simply Ryan Fitzgerald. For those of the folks in the listening audience that don't know, Eric, St. Matthews, I said, was right off Mount Vernon Road. Where would you turn left off Mount Vernon Road to get to St. Matthews? Hold on 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry. Sonia Matthew, our assistant, Eric, I'm so sorry. I was thinking of All Saints, another great parochial school. That is off of Mount Vernon Road. St. Matthews is right up on First Avenue.
First Avenue, correct.
I'm sorry, Eric. Well, you go to 33 schools in the months of April and May, and they should not run together, but sometimes they do. And, of course, St. Matthews is near 27th Street, isn't it?
24th.
Yes.
24th and First Avenue, so right in the heart of Cedar Rapids.
Right in the heart of Cedar. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it's 2-0. The right-handed batter, Drew Larson. Now he swats one in the air to the right of the mound. Uh-oh, Matt Pauley. I said uh-oh because I thought he might trip on the mound, but he caught it on the left side of the mound and then crawled up the hill after the catch. Drew Larson ahead 2-0. Pops to Matt Pauley to end the Lansing 4th inning. We're going to continue our chat with second-grade teacher Eric Casey from St. Matthew's School. In the 4th inning, the Lugnuts strike for 2 runs. On 3 hits, there were no Colonel errors, and the Lugnuts leave a runner on. They've stranded 3. It's a brand new game as the Kernels come to bat in the home half of the 4th. Kernels leading Lansing 3-2, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Mike and Mike. The big subject is whether or not Bud Selig will utilize the best interest of baseball power to institute a stronger drug testing program. Joining us now, the former Commissioner Fay Vincent. If you were the Commissioner of Major League Baseball under the same circumstances today, would you do what they're saying Bud Selig is talking about doing?
You can't do it, guys. You can't interfere. That's a federal protected right the union has, and the management cannot do something unilateral.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio. For the second year in a row, the Iowa Associated Press named Scott Unash the best damn play-by-play announcer in the state. Catch his stellar play-by-play of local high school sports. His sports talk show weekdays at 3. Friday nights from Hawkeye Downs and the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner Saturday mornings at 9. When does this guy sleep? Scott knows sports. And once again, he's AP's top play-by-play announcer of the year. One more reason why you need to keep it in the Zone. ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Cedar Rapids Colonel, that's a good time roll. Hey, Colonel. Hey, Colonel.
2 lucky fans will win a year's supply of bratwurst, a tailgate grill, grilling utensils, an apron, and t-shirt, courtesy of Clutch Sausages, on Monday, May 31st, when the Colonels host the Lansing Lugnuts. Game time is 2 o'clock. Get your tickets today at the Veterans Memorial Stadium box office or call 896-7560.
Cedar Rapids Colonel, that's a good time roll.
Nick Himpton hits one off the end of his bat, cues it foul to the railing of the Lansing third base dugout. 3-2 Kernels as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Lugnuts with 3 hits and 2 RBI hits, two out RBI hits in the top of this 4th inning. Kimpton squares the bunt and Bear Bay misses low and in. 1-1 to Nick Kimpton. Well, Eric Casey, as a Cub fan, do you think you can square it away with your family to come on out here on Monday afternoon to see Ryan Dempster pitch?
You'll bet to see me here. I'll be here for sure. So
Good.
I had heard that he was going to be pitching, and he's actually a little ahead on his rehab with after he had Tommy John. So.
And I think the Cubs are going to need him with the unexpected injuries to almost everybody.
Yeah, I
Wellmeyer.
watched the doubleheader last night, which wasn't the funnest thing to watch, but
Nick Kimpton grounds one right underneath the feet of the pitcher. In fact, Bear Bay had to dodge that line shot. And Nick Kimpton has the sixth hit of the Kernels for the Kernels, a leadoff single here in the fourth inning. Yeah, Eric, as we were playing here last night against Lansing, I knew the Cubs had a doubleheader, and apparently their bullpen collapsed down the stretch, and they did drop a pair to the Pirates. But all things considered, with 9 guys on the disabled list, they're still fighting it out with the Cardinals and Houston and Cincinnati and Milwaukee in that Central.
Yeah, they're keeping their head above water, so I'm just hoping everybody can get healthy, and we'll see how Pryor team goes Sunday, and he's eligible to come off DL on Friday.
That's good news.
And which is the day after our school gets out, so I happen to have tickets for the game up there, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed. But
boy, oh boy, Eric, if you got to go to the return of Mark Pryor at Wrigley, a strike to Tommy Duenas.
Well.
There's a pitch out, and holding it first is Nick Kimpton. Tommy led off the second inning and belted his 4th home run of the year onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion to make it 3-0 Kernels. It's now 3-2 Kernels. Nick Kimpton is 6 for 7 in stolen base attempts. He's got a good-sized lead, being held by big Brian DePerick.
Well, John, the last time I was up at Wrigley and saw a Pryor pitch was Game 6 of the NLCS, the infamous Bartman game. So
oh, boy.
That was a long ride home after that game.
I can imagine, Eric. I watched that ball game. A strike called to Tommy Duenas. He's in the hole 1-2. Nick Kimpton may be running, and Bobby Magallanes may call for a hit and run. Nick is going. A curve low, the throw to second. Not in time. It skips into center. But there's Chris Walker to back it up. Nick Kimpton has his 7th steal in 8 tries. The throw in the dirt skipped by the middle infielder Robinson Chirinos, the second baseman, adjusting his made trousers. I thought for a moment he might have been spiked, but Kimpton not spiking. Nick in scoring position. Now Tommy Duenas will try to readjust his thinking and broke one on the ground, right side of the Lugnut infield to get Kimpton over to third. Bays 2-2. Instead, he throws to second, and Kimpton just got back in hand first. Well, Eric Casey, how did you luck out and get tickets for that National League Championship Series?
Well, I have a good friend of mine who him and I have been lifelong Cubs fans, so we, whenever we get tickets, it's always I get some for him, he gets some for me, and he just went on the internet and the phone the day they went on sale and just really lucked out.
A grounder to third. Tommy Duenas pulled the ball. That's the last thing he wanted to do. Drew Larson fields it, looks Kimpton back to second, and throws out Tommy Duenas. Credit Bear Bay for preventing Nick Kimpton, or preventing Tommy Duenas from doing what he wanted to do. Tommy wanted to hit the ball to the right side of the infield. Instead, he rolls out to third, and because of that, it'll take a base hit from Quan Cosby or Howie Kendrick if the Kernels are to add to their slim 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th, 3-2 Kernels. A check of the runner at second, a throw, and this time Kimpton just got back in safely. The shortstop, Carlos Rojas, snuck in behind him. If I'm not mistaken, Eric Casey, Dubuque is Cub country.
Well, yeah, there's quite a bit of Cub fans up there. So,
boy, I wish we could have made a stronger case to the voters and brought in professional baseball to Dubuque. Here's a ground ball slapped back to the pitcher, and they have Kimpton hung up between second and third. The third baseman runs Kimpton back to second, and Nick is tagged out. He's claiming interference. Nick is tagged out by the shortstop. Kimpton is arguing with a former Major League umpire, and that won't. Now Nick is appealing, and now Bobby Magallanes comes out saying that Kimpton's path second was blocked by the shortstop, but we're going to lose this argument. Quan Cosby wrapped one hard back to the mound. He reaches on a fielder's choice. Bob Davidson, the former big league umpire, hearing it for Bobby Magallanes. Kimpton, with poor base running, he was retired 1-5-6, pitcher to third baseman to shortstop. And now Howie Kendrick, the batter. The Kernels' failure to execute properly here in the 4th inning has really hurt. Cosby may be running. Quan is 10 for 12 in stolen base attempts. Eric Casey's alongside. He's a second-grade teacher at St. Matthews on 1st Avenue. Eric, a proud graduate of Coe College. And Eric, what is it about elementary school teaching that is so rewarding for you? It's something that sometime in my adult life I would love to try. I don't know if I'd be good at it or have the patience for it, and I don't say that in a negative way. I mean patience in the sense that you really have to see progress each day and then over time. But what do you like best about working with younger children?
Well, I think the part that kind of drew me to it was just what you said, just working with the young kids. I mean, whether you wake up and you're on a bad day or no matter what's going on, as soon as you get to school, you get 20 little smiling faces coming in and just kind of puts everything else in your life out in the back of your mind for the day, and just, just such an enjoyable thing to watch them grow and change from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And it's sad to have move on, but then, we'll be coming back in August, and there'll be another group and new great kids, and, you just have 16 little personalities and differences and stuff, and, just a great job. I don't think I'd do anything else.
Well, you've explained it so very well, Eric, and as we've talked to teachers and principals throughout this spring at their schools, like yours this afternoon, this evening, the spotlight at St. Matthews, they've said similar thoughts, that making a difference in the lives of kids is something that you can't put a price tag on. A pitch out, Quan holds is how it takes ball 2 outside. Cosby at first, 2 away. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Kernels lead it 3-2. It looks like a parent of a St. Matthews kid is down below, Eric, and she's real tall.
Yes, she is. Her husband's about that tall, too, so.
Ooh, ball 3 outside.
Yeah, some tall kids.
Tall jeans, too, yeah.
Yeah.
Ball 3 outside to Howie. He may be turned loose on this 3-0 count with Quant first and 2 gone. Eric Casey, a second-grade teacher from St. Matthew's School, is with us, and he's a big Cub fan. There's a strike call to Howie Kendrick. Were you surprised, Eric, that the vote was so in favor of not building a new ballpark in Dubuque, or do you think that there just wasn't enough time to make a good case for it?
I was actually shocked because being from that area and growing up, I mean, it's just...
Quan is running, and a base hit into right will send Cosby to third as Carlos Mejia throws to third late. First and third, 2 gone. Howie Kendrick hit behind the runner. Quan Cosby was off on that 3-1 count. Then Howie sliced it, lashing it into right field. Cosby at third. First and third, 2 gone. Bobby Wilson, 2 for 2. He'll try to go 3 for 3 and come up with a 2-out hit here in the Kernel 4th inning. Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, well, like I was saying, it's just baseball country up there. People love it, and I mean, when I was a kid growing up, I grew up on a farm, and at the end of the day, as soon as you were done working, you went and found a game and went with your friends, their brothers, their dads, and it's, I thought when I heard about the proposal, I thought it was probably going to be a shoo-in, but, like you said, I don't know if they didn't have enough time or...
I think maybe what happened, because I thought Dubuque was a great baseball town, too, and I'm sure it is. Ball 1 low to Bobby Wilson. A curve is a strike. I think what probably happened is Michael Ganter and his group that owned the Battle Creek Ball Club, which would have moved to Dubuque, they probably didn't have time to mobilize people you're just describing, and probably all the, I don't want to say older folks, but a ground ball to short should end the inning. The Kernels had a great chance to add to their lead, but can't do it, as Howie Kendrick is forced 6-4, Rojas to Chirinos. Bobby Wilson retired for the first time this evening. In the 4th inning, no runs for the Kernels, 2 base hits. There was a stolen base, no Lansing errors. The Kernels leave a pair, and the reason we're fretting is the Kernels have left 6 runners in just 4 innings. We'll wrap our time up with Eric Casey. Let him get back to his students and all the fun in St. Matthews. We'll have Eric with us during the top of the 5th inning when the Lugnuts bat, and then say goodbye to Eric. We go to the 5th inning, and the Kernels holding a 3-2 lead over Lansing. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Most of us have been in a situation before in buying an automobile where what we owe is more than what our vehicle is worth. And sometimes it's thousands of dollars. There is a better way to put yourself in a better position when it comes to value, quality, and reliability. Put yourself into an industry-leading Honda automobile from Randy Gill Honda. The Odyssey minivan boasting #1 in safety and the #1 minivan on the market for the last 5 years. The Honda Accord leads the way in safety and has made the Car and Driver's Top 10 list more than any other car in history. Pilot topped the SUV categories in its first year out and remains a class leader. And the CR-V continues leading in its class since its arrival in 1997. The subcompact Element is so functional and practical, they're selling as fast as they arrive. So doesn't it make sense to get the best value in the market at Randy Keel Honda? Great folks to deal with, too, and number one when it comes to getting you the best price. The home of confidence is Randy Keel Honda, Centerpoint Road, or on the web at randykeel.com.
Hey, corporate employees and union members, too. Airport National 27-hole public golf course in Cedar Rapids has an unbelievable new corporate union season pass special for you. 2 people for $300, 4 people for $250, 10 people or more for only $200 each. Add a spouse for only $125 or just $50 for each child. Airport National Public Golf is now accepting new corporate, charity, and church golf outings and leagues starting as low as only $11 per person. Holy sliced, Batman, please visit us just 4 miles east of the Eastern Iowa Airport today.
Oh, boy, it looks like the girls are getting ready.
Yes, they are. Eric Casey looking down, seeing some students, girls from his school, St. Matthews. And Eric, go ahead and identify those cute kids who are going to be the Dairy Queen dugout dancers in just a few minutes.
Okay, we got a first grader, Delaney. Oh, 2 first grade girls, Delaney and Kayla, and the other are 4th graders, Ashley and Shay, I believe.
So they'll have a fun time, thanks to Dairy Queen, dancing on top of the dugouts in just a little bit. Carlos Mejia lines an extra base hit into the left field corner. Nick Himpton will dig it out at the base of the 3:15 mark, and Mejia races to second with a stand-up leadoff double. That's the 3rd double in the last 2 innings against Kevin Jebsen. Mejia lined out to Matt Brown, opening up the 3rd inning, and he doubles down into the left field corner. Lansing with a great opportunity now to tie this game. They have a runner at second with nobody out. The Kernels had a runner at second with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, but the whole inning turned when Tommy Duenas grounded to shortstop, or grounded to 3rd. He was unable to get the ball on the ground to the right side of the infield. Let's see if Chris Walker can do it. A bunt, and that should be a base hit. It's barehanded, throw away late. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Chris Walker laid down a bunt, then used his blazing speed to beat the throw from 3rd baseman Matt Brown. Matt made it a lot closer than I thought he would.
Good bunt.
It was a terrific bunt. And if the Cubs ever get some speedsters back into their lineup to go with all that power they have, look out.
I thought maybe we'd see Felix PA, who played for Lansing last year, center fielder, real quick guy, but I don't know if he, I don't know he started the season with Lansing, but I'm not sure if he's only playing tonight or.
Well, he's with somebody, possibly Daytona, possibly Double-A. He's one of the best prospects he was last year. Eric, you're right. You'll see him at Wrigley Field probably in 2 to 3 years at the most, because Felix PA is, he is something. He'll add, the Cubs, of course, have already had great luck producing Corey Patterson out of Lansing. And a lot of controversy about the Hee-Sop Choi deal, but Derek Lee, I'm sure, will be proved to be a very good, solid major leaguer. He's the first baseman, and we saw Hee-Sop Choi as a Lansing Lugnut just a few years back. Whistling one foul off to the right is Carlos Rojas. Lansing should be able to tie this game or take the lead. They have runners at 1st and 3rd. The runner goes from 1st, the throw to 2nd, high and safe. Ooh, the throw is good by Tommy Duenas. It was in time, but it was high, and so Sean Rodriguez could not put the tag on the league's leading base dealer, Chris Walker, increasing the Lugnut chances of tying it or taking a lead here in the 5th inning. They have runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. Lansing is now, well, we still out-hit them 7-6, but they have runners at 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. The Colonel infield is halfway. The Colonel infield is halfway for Carlos Rojas. The 0-2 to Carlos in the 3rd, a slider. Hey, we have more scores to pass along to you here in the top of the 5th inning on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. It's brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Lanny Peterson, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler. Now the infield in for the Kernels. Swing and a miss. A huge first out as Carlos Rojas, now 0-for-3, could not catch up to a Kevin Jebsen fastball. That's Kevin's 5th strikeout of the evening. 2 on, 1 out for Brian Doperic, a big, tall, strong right-handed batter. Final from this afternoon in the American League. At Fenway Park, the Mariners edge Boston 5-4. At Kauffman Stadium, the Royals bounced the Twins 5-2. And at Comiskey Park, our parent club stomped the White Sox, Anaheim 5, the White Sox 1. Ball 1 inside to Brian Doperic. A final for Sky Dome, the Blue Jays whipped the Blue Jays whipped Texas 6-2. They're in the top of the fifth at Tropicana Field. The Yankees on top of Tampa Bay, 2-0. A pitch pulled foul on the ground outside of third evens the count to Brian DePerick, 1-1. They're underway at Cleveland. Oakland leads the Tribe 2-0 in the top of the first inning. And at Comerica Park, Baltimore has an early 1-0 lead. They're batting in the top of the first, already leading the Tigers 1-0. Brian DePerick, an infield single and a strikeout. He breaks his bat, grounds one to third, an error on Matt Brown. Everybody's safe, and it's first and third, and the game is tied 3-3. Matt Brown making just his 7th error of the season. I thought he had a chance to get Chris Walker, as Chris said, right in front of him, into third. Carlos Mejia scored to make it 3-3. Brian DePerick reaches on error, committed at third by Matt Brown. Matt wanted to throw to first, then took his head off the ground ball and muffed it. It trickled behind him for an error, and the Colonel 3-0 lead has now been wiped out. It's 3-3. Kevin Collins, the batter. Collins could put Lansing ahead in this game. He doubled and scored in the 4th inning. Mejias was breaking on contact, so he would have scored. Matt Brown lifted his chin up to take a peek at the runner coming home, and that cost him as the ground ball slipped off his mitt. Now a pitch blown away, ball 1 to Kevin Collins. In the National League this afternoon, the Braves trounced Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Ballpark 9-3. In the bottom of the 8th at Houston, the Redbirds are stomping the Astros 9-3. Collins went around on a changeup, strike 1. They're in the top of 5th at Pro Player Stadium. The Mets and Marlins are tied at 2. Everything else just underway, and 2 games on West Coast. But that's our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. 1 out, first and third for Lansing. Strike called, a throw to third, and a terrific play by Matt Brown. He put a tag on Chris Walker as Walker dove back in head first, and the count's 1-2 to Kevin Collins. Eric Casey is here from St. Matthew's School. He's a 2nd grade teacher. Eric, what day did you say is the last day of school? Thursday?
Yeah, June 3rd.
And will you have a field day or something like that, a contest for...
Well, that day, all we do is go to math as a school and hand out report cards, and they're off for the rest of the day, about 9:30. So
a change up, and Kevin Collins missed it. A huge strikeout of Collins by Kevin Jepson. And now, if Kevin could get Alan Rick, the Colonels would have the momentum back in this game. Collins, a .333 batter, leading the league in home runs, 3rd in RBIs, was done in on a terrific changeup from Kevin Jepson. Alan Rick is a left-handed batter. He swings and misses, strike 1. Rick has fanned twice, swinging in the 2nd, looking in the 4th. The Lugnuts have tied it with a run, an unearned run here in the 5th inning. Well, I'm not sure. Perhaps it's an earned run. I'll have to wait and see. Now a smash foul right behind home plate, strike 2 to Alan Rick. Eric Casey, I want to thank you and everybody from St. Matthews for making us feel so welcome during our visit a couple of weeks ago, and for all the dedication that you and your colleagues have. I am a huge supporter of the mission of the Catholic schools. You guys do a fabulous job, not only educating, but teaching values and character and faith.
Well, thanks a lot, John. Those words are appreciated, and thank you guys and the Kernels organization for having this night for us tonight, and coming over and doing the reading program at the schools. Because from the teacher standpoint, those things are so important, and it means so much to have our local celebrities backing us up.
Well, Eric, thank you. It's our pleasure. It's a privilege to come into schools like St. Matthew's. Alan Rick is caught looking on a changeup. Kevin Jepson fans the side in the 5th inning. 1 run for Lansing on 2 hits, 1 Colonel error. The Lugnuts leave a pair. They've stranded 5. It's a brand new game as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Colonels 3, Lansing 3, and you're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, man, what's up? Just ready to kick your butt.
Right. And mess up your hair?
You just wish you could look this good.
Boo!
Nothing but net.
Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it?
Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I can get in whenever it's convenient for me.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good?
Well, for some of us, that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me.
Oh, so that's why your hair never moves.
Oh, you're funny.
Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time.
Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time and walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. Always have time for your hair.
Faucets, weekend, termites, feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, carpet makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see. Let your fingers walk into Yellow Book. The other book.
When it comes to making their buying decisions, people today let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with money-saving coupons, restaurant menus, and vital community info. And with more ads than ever before, it has everything you need right at your fingertips. It's easy to spot. Just reach for the yellow directory with the map on the cover and join the smart shoppers who choose Yellow Book, not the other book. Put your business in Yellow Book. Call 1-800-YB-YELLOW.
Let your fingers walk into Yellow Book. The other book.
We're underway in the bottom of the fifth inning. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia question will come your way in the top of the sixth. We're tied 3. Matt Brown at the plate for the Kernels. A 1-1 pitch from the right-hander. Bear Bay is outside. Matt has walked and skied to center. The Kernels with 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Lansing answering with 2 in the fourth, 1 in the top of this fifth inning to tie the game at 3. Brownie lays off a fastball high, and it's 3-1 to Matt Brown. Swing and a miss by Matt. He took a home run cut, and the count's full now. Wasn't it great to have St. Matthew's Eric Casey with us, a proud graduate of Coke College and a second-year, second-grade teacher at St. Matthew's. And I still can't believe I was telling people that St. Matthew's was off Mount Vernon Road. That's All Saints. A swing and a pop foul onto the Miller mezzanine terrace. The count remains full to Matt Brown. Want to remind you again that our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia question will come your way in the top of the sixth inning. The breeze is now blowing hard from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole. Bear Bay is into his windup, and now he stops. Bay with a record of 4-3. Payoff pitch is a curve, grounded right underneath glove of the third baseman, Drew Larson. Matt Brown, a huge turn at first, will hold on. Matt Brown hit a curve ball on the ground, and it went right between the legs, underneath the glove of third baseman Drew Larson. That's his 9th error of the year. He's 5, and in a 3-3 game, let's see if the Colonel can capitalize. Kevin Shepton was let down by his defensive bit in the top of this fifth inning. In fact, it was Matt Brown who made an uncharacteristic error, and the run that the Lugnuts scored to tie the game in the top of this inning was an unearned run. Ball 1 just inside to Matt Pauley. 3-3 the score, and we are in the bottom of the fifth inning. Matt Brown has 3 steals in 4 attempts. He draws the throw, and he's back standing up. 13 hits in the game. Each team has made an error, and the score's tied at 3 in the bottom of the fifth inning. Matt Pauley tomahawks the pitch high and away, off to the left for strike 1. And a herd, a stampede of kids chasing that foul ball down. .79 degrees was our game time temperature back at 5 o'clock. The runner goes, the pitch low, and now they have Brown hung up between second and third. He tries to get back to first. He cannot get back to first. Matt Brown caught stealing, and that really hurts. That really hurts. The Kernels are not taking advantage of opportunities here. The caught stealing went 2-6-3. Catcher Alan Rick to the shortstop Carlos Rojas, the first baseman Chris Aperic. Now the 2-1 to Pauly. High, ball 3. Oh, my goodness. We've run the bases poorly. Well, we just haven't executed well here today. But we're still tied 3-3. Here's a lazy fly ball into left. Ryan Fitzgerald is near the line, and he has it. Matt Pauly, nothing for 3 flies to left. 2 gone in the Colonel 5th inning. We had a terrific chance to break this thing wide open in the first inning. The Kernels had the bases loaded with only 1 out, had scored 2 runs, but Bear Bay struck out Blake Balcom, got Nick Kempton to fly to center, and the Kernels will have to look back on that first inning as a pivotal juncture in this game. A curve drops into Sean Rodriguez, strike 1. He's 0 for 1 with a walk, flew out to deep center his last time up. Another breaking pitch is taken for ball 1. Bear Bay was 7-1 with Mesa last year. Whistling one straight back into the screen, falling behind in the count 1-2, Sean Rodriguez. Bear Bay in 6 starts and 4 relief appearances was 7-1 with the Mesa Cubs. And in 4 starts with Boise, he was 1-2. Curve is downstairs. It's 2-2 now to Sean Rodriguez. Now a slider low and away, ball 3. Blake Balcom on deck. Matt Brown reached on an error to lead this inning off by the third baseman, but then was caught trying to steal second. Ball 4 just below the knees, a fastball. Sean Rodriguez is drawn. The 3rd walk of the evening off the Lansing right-hander. Sean may be running now. Blake Balcom batting, 2 gone, bottom of the 5th. 3-3 to score. A right-hander has gotten up for Lansing in their bullpen. The Lugnuts in gray road uniforms with red lettering trimmed in black and black socks. The runner goes. The pitch is strike. Throw a second. Save! Sean Rodriguez, the go-ahead run with his 11th steal of the year, a torpedo headfirst slide. Just did beat the throw from Alan Rick. The second baseman, Robinson Chirinos, looked up at Bob Davidson, the plate umpire, and he was hoping for an out call. It was that close to play at second. But Rodriguez is in scoring position now for Blake Balcom. And a breaking pitch is ball 1 outside. Blake took the first pitch for a strike as Rodriguez stole second. Bottom of the 5th inning, Kernels and Lugnuts knotted at 3. That right-hander is pausing to watch between pitches. A high pop foul into the Kernel first base. The right field bullpen is caught. Blake Balcom is fouled out to the second baseman who caught it in the Kernel bullpen, Robinson Chirinos. Balcom fouls out to the second baseman. In the 5th inning, no runs for the Kernels. No hits, a walk, an error, a stolen base. The Kernels leave another stranded. We've left 7 men on in 5 at-bats. Kevin Jepson back to the hill after 5 with the Springhouse Family Restaurant trivia question coming your way in the top of the 6th. It's the Kernels 3, the Lugnuts 3, and you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
When searching for a professional logistics team of experts to handle your warehousing operations, look to Worley Warehousing. Worley Warehousing will help you achieve greater efficiencies by providing superior warehouse facilities, technological advancement, and expert professionals. By focusing on technological innovations and keen foresight, Worley Warehousing has grown into one of our nation's leading warehousing operations. Worley Warehousing, your single source for all of your warehousing and distribution needs.
Knowing who you are is important. At Kirkwood Community College, we know who we are. We are accessibility. We are quality. We are opportunity. We are community. Who are you? We can help you learn. Kirkwood.edu.
What is ESPN Radio? It's not that hard. You're a sports fan? This is the sports station. It's ESPN. That means sports. The games, the experts, the analysis, the scores, the highlights, the people who know their stuff. It's good conversation. It's ESPN. It's radio. You know, the box that all sounds come out of. It's your home, in your car, where you work, even in your computer. It's everywhere you go. It's radio. It's ESPN. It's ESPN Radio. That's all it is.
Kernels 3, Lansing 3. As we head to the top of the sixth inning, the Lugnuts will have their numbers 6, 7, and 8 men to face Kernel right-hander Kevin Jepson. The Kernels unable to hold a 3-0 lead. Lansing couldn't hold a 2-0 lead in last night's series opener. This hitter, Robinson Chirinos, doubled down the left field line. Or check that, he doubled in right center and scored. He drove in a run and scored in the Lugnuts 2-run fourth inning. Ball one upstairs from Kevin Jepson. Right-handed hitting Robinson Chirinos swings at a fastball, misses, strike one. The Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Chirinos tips one foul into the glove of the catcher, Tommy Duenas, for strike two. If you've been one of our 27 previous Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question winners, please don't call in this evening. Certainly play along wherever you're tuned in, but if you've won already, please don't call in. Swing and a miss. Kevin Jepson is on fire. He fanned aside in the Lansing fifth, and Kevin records his 8th strikeout of the game. Jepson has fanned 8 batters. 1 out, nobody on for Ryan Fitzgerald. He's walked and delivered an RBI single. He's from Des Moines, Iowa, a right-handed batter and a slider low, ball one. The Springhouse has fabulous Sunday home-cooked meals. Turkey, roast beef, pork loin. They're all served with sage dressing and vegetable. And your choice of mashed or sweet potatoes, a special salad, fresh baked bread, and dessert. All of that on Sunday for just $7.25 at the Springhouse. A check swing. Fitzgerald went around, according to Chris Bakke, the plate umpire. The 1-1 from Kevin is bounced to third. Whirling and throwing low, but out, safe. The umpire signaled out and then safe. Bob Davidson took a second look. Matt Pauley came off the bag. It'll be a throwing error on Matt Brown. Ryan Fitzgerald reaches for the third straight time. He bounced one to the left side. Matt Brown got to it, then did a pirouette, a 360. His throw to Matt Pauley pulled Matt off the base, a throwing error by Matt Brown, and that's Matt's second error in as many innings. The go-ahead run first. 1 out for right-hand batting Drew Larson. A pitch up and away, a snap throw to first by Tommy Duenas, and Fitzgerald is back. $7.25 for Sunday home-cooked meals at the Springhouse. We'll give you our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question here in this top of the sixth inning. Go-ahead run at first for Lansing, 1 out, and a throw to first, diving back safely, is Ryan Fitzgerald. A 10-time Cub All-Star combined with a former Dodger great to steal 101 bases for the Cubs in 1985. Who were they? That's our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. A 10-time Cub All-Star combined with a former Dodger great to steal 101 bases for the Cubs in 1985. Who were those two? The runner goes, and a pitch drilled foul up into the sweeps to our right. Strike one to the batter, Drew Larson. Here's the number to call for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. 896-7589. 896-7589. Drew Larson is fouled to the catcher, popped to first. Ball 2 is downstairs from Kevin Jepson. A 10-time Cub All-Star combined with a former Dodger great to steal 101 bases for the Cubs in 85. Who were the two? That's our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. A throw to first, and Diving back in safely, Ryan Fitzgerald. He's 7 for 10 in stolen base attempts. The Kernels get a right-hander, Alan Buckley, up in their right field bullpen. Uh-oh, a deep smash to left. It may go. It's at the wall, and it is a two-run homer. A two-run homer for Drew Larson. Catapults Lansing ahead here in the 6th inning, 5-3. Drew Larson, a 165 hitter, nothing for 2 in this game. Took a 2-1 pitch and lined it over the left field wall, just below the Mix 96.5 FM Castile Mall home run hot tub. And Lansing leads it 5-3 here in the 6th inning. Only the second home run for Drew Larson. And the Kernel 3-0 lead has been completely erased. Hey, we have a winner in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Eric Hearn correctly identified a pair of Cubs who combined to steal 101 bases in 1985. The 0-1 pitch to Mejia, corked past the diving Matt Brown into left, and Kevin Jepson has run out of energy here in this top of the 6th inning. Eric Hearn, who lives on Southeast Side on Beaver Ridge Court. Now wait a minute! What is Eric Hearn doing waving to us down below? Eric Hearn is waving, and apparently he got help from our great Cub fans, Marvin and his wife. Eric Hearn correctly identified Ryan Sandberg and Davey Lopes as the two Cubs who stole 101 bases in 1985 for Jim Fry's Cubs. They were 77 and 84. We have a couple of interesting footnotes about Davey Lopes. Most people forgot that he played left field for the Cubs in 85. There goes the runner, a pitch out. Duenas nails the runner trying to steal second. Carlos Mejia is thrown out. It went to 6. Duenas to Rodriguez, and out at second was Carlos Mejia. 2 gone in the 6th inning. Davey Lopes was 47 of 51 in stolen bases for the Cubs in 85. He was only caught 4 times and stole 47 bases in 51 attempts. And he stole 47 bases in only 99 games. Congratulations, Kernel season ticket holder Eric Hearn. You've won a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant. Yes, Ryan Sandberg and Davey Lopes combined to steal 101 bases for the 85 Cubs, who finished 7 games under 500. Lining one foul pass first, Chris Walker. Now he swings and misses, strike 3. How'd you like to be Kevin Jepson? You strike out 9 batters in 6 innings, yet you trail in the game. For Lansing, 2 runs, the 6th inning, one of them unearned on 2 base hits. 1 Kernel error, their second in as many innings, and the Lugnuts leave the bases empty. They've stranded 5. Now the Kernels have to play catch-up. After 5.5, the Lugnuts lead the Kernels 5-3, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Lasso ERV, where veteran RV owners send their relatives and friends to buy. Lasso is a family-owned business with a friendly atmosphere, certified technicians, and service with a smile. Lasso E has a large selection of floor plans in lightweight and full-size models. CRVs by New Way Hitchhiker, Coachman, Sunlight, Rebel, and Century. Lasso ERV has everyday low prices, and RVs fit all budgets. So head to Lasso ERV and start planning your summertime fun. Lasso E will be closed for Memorial Day weekend, May 29th through 31st. Have a safe and fun weekend and happy camping.
It's all here, you will see. Break away with Lasso E.
Lasso E Campers, northeast of Anamosa, Highway X44, Amber, Iowa, under the big tower.
Break away, Lasso E.
The way to pocket important savings is to take advantage of Chevron Motor Oils and Lubricants from the Otson Oil Company, your local Chevron oil distributor. Chevron lubricants are made from higher quality base oils for better performance, and that means longer life for your engine. Contact the Otson Oil Company in Cedar Rapids for details on how you can save time and money with Chevron lubricants. The Hudson Oil Company, serving Iowa with quality lubricants since 1933. Visit Hudson Oil Company at www.hudson.com.
Mike and Mike. The big subject is whether or not Bud Selig will utilize the best interest of baseball power to institute a stronger drug testing program. Joining us now, the former Commissioner Fay Vincent. If you were the Commissioner of Major League Baseball under the same circumstances today, would you do what they're saying Bud Selig is talking about doing?
You can't do it, guys. You can't interfere. That's a federal protected right the union has, and the management cannot do something unilaterally.
Mike and Mike in the morning on ESPN Radio.
Kalita misses in the dirt with a change, ball one. Ryan Kalita, Kalita, in relief for the starter. A bouncer to second by Kimpton. Robinson Chirinos on to first, one away in the Kernels' sixth inning. The batter, Tommy Duenas, he gave the Kernels a 3-0 lead back in the second inning with his fourth homer of the year, a leadoff blast. But it's now 5-3 Lansing. The starter, Bear Bay, pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, struck out 1, walked 3. What a difference in styles. Kevin Jepson fanning 9 batters in 6 innings, yet he and the Kernels on a short end of a 5-3 score. A little looper into shallow left will fall for Tommy Duenas. Tommy has the Colonel 8th hit of the evening. He hit it off the end of the bat and dumped it in front of the left fielder Ryan Fitzgerald for a 1-out single. Tommy Duenas is 2 for 3. Top of the order, here's Quan Cosby. Things look so positive in the bottom of the first. The Kernels had scored twice, had the bases loaded against Bear Bay, the starter, with only 1 out, but could not score any more runs. Then the Kernels had 2 hits, a stolen base in the 4th inning, but could not score. And had failed to take advantage of an error, a walk, and a stolen base in the 5th inning, could not score. Strike one called to the switch-hitting Colonel leadoff man Quan Cosby. We wish our best to lefty Micah Posey. Micah got the good news this morning, last night actually, that he's been sent to Rancho Cucamonga. So 6-0 6-0 Micah Posey will not pitch in the Midwest League All-Star game. We're hoping that he could be around for that in 3 weeks, but Joan Toledo, a Colonel starter a year ago, injured, and so Joan Toledo will be replaced in the Rancho Cucamonga starting rotation by Micah Posey. Micah won 14 games in his year plus. A roller to second, and Chirinos will spin and throw to the shortstop out. On to first, not in time. Quan Cosby forces Tommy Duenas at second. Second base to shortstop. Chirinos to Rojas, and Quan reaches on a fielder's choice. Quan rolled it to the second baseman, Robinson Chirinos. Now will Quan be running in this 5-3 contest in favor of Lansing? Alan Buckley working in the Colonel bullpen as though he'll take over for Kevin Jepson in the 7th inning. A pitch out and Quan not running, ball 1 to Howie. Kevin Jepson, 6 innings, gave up 5 runs, only 3 earned, on 8 hits. Kevin struck out 9, and he walked only 1. He deserved a better fate here. And perhaps we can take him off the hook with a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ball 2 upstairs to Howie Kendrick from Ryan Kalita. He pitched 2/3 of an inning last night and didn't allow a run or a hit. A 17th round pick by the Cubs last year. From Notre Dame. He lives in Oak Park, Illinois, one of the first suburbs west of Chicago. A throw to first, and Quan dives back in safely. Alan Buckley will come on to pitch the 7th inning. There goes Quan! A strike to the batter. The throw to second. Quan is out. And it was the second baseman, the shortstop who took the throw from Alan Rick. Quan Cosby trying to steal second. The play went 2-6. And that ends the Colonel's inning. No runs, 1 hit. No Lansing errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty We go to the top of the 7th inning with Lansing leading the Kernels 5-3. And you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
When we met, we would never forget the Ojanos. Now it's where mi amore and I, Dana, in we carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannoli, tortellini, or try the delicious salads and sandwiches too. The Ojanos is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember the Ojanos with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
Here's a fact about the new Veterans Memorial Stadium I bet you didn't know. All of the grounds surrounding our community's newest source of pride are maintained by Greg's Lawn Service. That's right, it's Greg's Lawn Service that provides you with that initial lift when you approach our magnificent new ballpark. Greg's Lawn Service can put their first-class signature on your yard, elevating it to the same immaculate condition you see around the stadium. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest since 1983.
Butterflies in your stomach. You know the feeling, like when you're not sure you found the best loan. Well, set those butterflies free. Talk with a knowledgeable banker at Wells Fargo. Whether you're interested in a home equity loan, mortgage, or auto loan, they can help you find a product that's just right for you, including unique financing options you won't find anywhere else. And every Wells Fargo loan has competitive rates and affordable payment options. So be sure you found the best loan. Call or visit Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, the next stage. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., equal housing lender.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen has Alan Buckley taking over for Kevin Jepson. Alan Buckley earned the save Wednesday night here at home against the Dayton Dragons. He pitched a third of an inning. And no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. It was Alan Buckley's first save. Alan Buckley in relief of Kevin Jepson, and for Lansing in the top of the 7th inning, their number 2, 3, and 4 men, Carlos Rojas, Brian DePerick, Kevin Collins. Ball 1 low from Alan Buckley. Kevin Jepson, 5 innings pitched. Check that, 6 innings pitched, gave up 5 runs, only 3 earned on 8 hits, struck out 9, walked 1. Allen's next delivery is up and in, ball 2 to Carlos Rojas, 0-for-3 this evening. Juan Cosby shade into left center, and backing out of the way of a pitch up and in, ball 3 is Carlos Rojas. Alan Buckley 1-0 with 1 save, on for the 16th time out of the Colonel bullpen, an ERA of 7.48. He heaves a pitch outside. It looked like a strike. The leadoff walk from the Colonel right-handed reliever to Carlos Rojas. Now the big eyes come up. Brian DePerick. 1-3 today. DePerick singled back in the first inning, struck out, then reached on an error on which a run scored in the Lansing 5th inning. That run tied the game at 3. An error preceded a 2-run homer in the 6th inning. That home run by Drew Larson has given the Lugnuts a lead. A curve from Alan Buckley high, ball 1 to Brian DePerick. Buckley has pitched 21 2/3, allowed 24 hits in 21 2/3, struck out 18, walked 13. The league hitting .273 against the 6'6" Colonel right-hander. Ball 2 is low, a curveball. The lights have been turned on here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. The Colonel left fielder Nick Himpton is playing deep and left. DePerick, a right-handed batter, drills one into left. Himpton comes on and has it. He heaves a long throw into first. Not in time to get Carlos Rojas to return sliding feet first. Brian DePerick lines to Nick Himpton and left for the first out of the 7th inning. Now we have a correction on Kevin Jepson's final line. 6 innings pitched, 5 runs allowed, 4 earned on 8 hits, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk. Our Kernel of Wisdom, and we'll have it for you, but first we want to remind you that you're tuned to Colonel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Ball 1 is outside to Kevin Collins. Ron Santo, the legendary third baseman, should be in the Hall of Fame. has made as big a name for himself as Pat Hughes' sidekick on Cub radio broadcasts as he did as an all-star third baseman. Ron Santo played third base for the Cubs from 1960 to 1973. He was traded before the 1974 season to, of all people, the White Sox. But I'll give you our kernel of wisdom in a moment. You might say, who's on third, or ask who's on third. A swing and a miss by the left-handed batter Collins, strike one. Since Ron Santo was traded to the White Sox in 74, 98 different players have been at the hot corner for the Cubs. 98 different third basemen in the last 31 years at Wrigley Field. That's an average of 3 a season. A pitch punch foul off to the left, and it's 1-2 to Kevin Collins, left-handed hitter. Here's who have played the most at third base since Ron Santo. Ron Cey, Steve Ontiveros, Bill Madlock, Steve Buechele, and Vance Law. But none of them have played, well, only one of those, Cey, played over 500 games at third base. Ontiveros, 398 games. Bill Madlock, in winning 2 batting titles, 385 games. Steve Buechele, 323. Vance Law, 269. Whatever happened to Gary Scott, Harmon Fanzone, Shane Andrews? What happened to all those Cub third basemen? A pitch punched off the batter's fifth foul into the screen. The count remains 1-2 to Kevin Collins. That's our kernel of wisdom. Asking the question, who's on third? Wayne Hedden is up on his feet, throwing in the Colonel bullpen. Alan Buckley working to the dangerous Kevin Collins. He leads the league in home runs. But Alan's ahead of him 1-2. A throw to first, and Carlos Rojas dances back safely. 5-3 in favor of Lansing here in the top of the 7th inning. Kevin Collins hit .342 with Boise 2 seasons ago. .342. There goes the runner, and a pitch lifted foul down the left field line. Now it's a fair ball. Nick Kimpton into the corner, and Kimpton cannot get it. It's a fair ball. It's a fair ball, and a runner's trying to score. A good throw will get him. He is out at the plate. Out at the plate on a misplay and left by Nick Kimpton. A double for Kevin Collins. But then a good relay from Kimpton. From Kimpton to Rodriguez to Tommy Duenas. 7-6-2, Kimpton to Rodriguez to Duenas. Carlos Rojas out at the plate by 10 feet, and into second goes the batter, Kevin Collins, with his second double of the evening. Wow, Nick Kimpton doesn't box too many plays, but the wind is swirling, blowing from right to left, and Nick disappeared into the corner at the 3:50 mark. The ball fell fair onto the warning track material. Kimpton is fuming at himself up in left field. He's standing with his hands on his hips. He's very disappointed in himself. But Nick Kimpton, although he misplayed that, did make a good relay throw to the shortstop Rodriguez, and then Sean on to the catcher Tommy Duenas, who had the ball waiting for Carlos Rojas. Rojas did not slide. Now a changeup and a swing and miss by Alan Rick. He has struck up 3 times. In fact, he fanned all 3 times against Kevin Jepson. Rick is a left-handed hitter, and he takes high and away, or Alan Rick is a left-handed hitter. He takes high and away for ball 1. Kevin Collins at second. Now the 1-1 from Buckley. High and away for ball 2. Wayne Hedden still warming up in the Colonel right field bullpen. Colonel, Director of Marketing and Public Relations, Mike Kuhlbeck, will be along shortly to give us what we hope will be an attendance that starts with the number 3 this evening. Wouldn't it be great if we had over 3,000 here tonight? The catcher swings at a changeup, didn't get it, and Alan Rick is in the, well, even with the count now, 2-2. A 2 o'clock start tomorrow. The Superstars will be here. They're oversized, giant, animated, gyrating characters that emulate big league ball players. Swing and a miss. Alan Rick fans, and that's the fourth time he's gone on strike. Into seventh. No runs for the Lugnuts. A walk, one hit. No Kernel errors. Lansing leaves a runner on. They've stranded six. This big crowd is rising to their feet for the seventh inning stretch on St. Matthew's school night. And after 6.5, the Kernels trail the Lugnuts 5-3. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physical Therapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physical Therapy Associates in Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Your husband has a sore throat and he's whimpering about getting it checked. That's when you make a mental note to yourself, must find family doctor.
How do you find the right doctor for your family?
It was easier than I thought. I called the number, and 3 minutes later, I had the names of 3 doctors who were in my neighborhood and were taking new patients.
Just call the Mercy Care referral line at 369-4444.
My Mercy Care doctor doesn't rush me out of the room with me saying, but what about, how do I? They take the time to answer my questions, even the silly ones.
It's that extra understanding, compassion, and care that Mercy Care community physicians practice every day.
So I got the doctor thing figured out. Now what do I do about that whimpering husband?
Find the right doctor for your family. Just call 369-4444 or find out more about our family doctors on the web at www.mercycaredoctors.com. Finding a doctor you really like. That's real life. That's the Mercy Touch.
Second baseman Howie Kendrick.
The Kernels will try to come back against another reliever for the Lugnuts. Here's a bunt by Howie Kendrick. The third baseman charges and throws Howie out. What a play by Drew Larson. Drew Larson charged the bunt by Howie Kendrick and threw him out at third. Howie 2 for 4. One gone on one pitch from right-hander Juan Mateo. Juan Mateo has gotten Howie Kendrick on a bunt to third. The batter, Bobby Wilson, he's 2 for 3, and he loops one foul into the backstop. Ryan Kalita, the Notre Dame right-hander, went 1 inning for Lansing. And now the Lugnuts go with Juan Mateo a swing, and well, let's see. The scoreboard says 1-1, so 1-1 to Bobby Wilson. Kernels have had a good penchant for coming back all season long. Maybe we can do it here this evening. Looks like we have a good attendance count. No, we have word that Bobby Wilson's family is here. That's better than any attendance count. Bobby Wilson, the batter, and his family's looking on. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bobby. And he lines one right to the shortstop, Carlos Rojas. Bobby Wilson got good wood on it. You could probably hear it through our crowd microphone. He cracked it to the shortstop. 2 gone here in the 7th inning for Matt Brown. 2 out, nobody on. Juan Mateo on for the 14th time out of the Lansing bullpen, 1-0 at 2.77 ERA. In 26 innings, he's given up 25 hits, and 19, walked 8. League hitting .258 against right-hander Juan Mateo. It's 5-3 in favor of the Lugnuts. Taking pitches in there for a strike call. Mateo with another curve and a swing and a miss by Matt Brown, strike 2. Juan's a 21-year-old from the Dominican Republic. Fastball is high to Matt Brown. The Lugnuts have the most effective closer in the Midwest League, and they may be setting things up to try to get the ball to Alberto Mendez. He has a league-high 14 saves. Matt Brown down on strikes on a good breaking pitch. The Kernels go in order for just, well, the second time in this ball game. 1-2-3-0 across in the bottom of the 7th inning. As we head to the 8th, Lansing leads the Kernels 5-3. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
You save big money, when you shop Menards.
Create your dream deck and yard now during the Deck and Landscape Sale at Menards. Save big on the best selection of natural cedar and maintenance-free decking. Menards has thousands of deck designs to choose from, all at the lowest prices. Or design your own deck with Menards' free computerized Design-It Center. Stop in today for a free estimate. Plus, spruce up your yard with landscape lights, landscape blocks, border fencing, and decorative stone and bark at huge savings. A set of 10 decorative low-voltage landscape lights is on sale for just $49.95. 12 by 12-inch brick-based patio blocks are only $149 each. Get all decked out for summer now during the Deck and Landscape Sale at Menards. Open 8 to 6 Memorial Day.
Save big money at Menards.
At Zimmerman's, we believe that the voice of the customer speaks loudest. Let's hear what our customers have to say.
I've always had good luck at Zimmerman's. I bought 5 vehicles here.
You buy a used vehicle, obviously you want it to hold up because you don't want to have problems with it. So we've always had really good luck here, so we just keep coming back.
On behalf of everyone at Zimmerman's, I want to thank you for your business.
Wayne Hedden has come on and answered a U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen. Wayne Hedden in relief of Alan Buckley. Alan pitched 1 inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Wayne Hedden, a right-hander. Wednesday was Wayne's last appearance. He came on in a ball game here at home against the Dayton Dragons in the 9th inning. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, surrendered 2 runs on 2 hits, struck out 1, walk 1. Wayne Hedden, a right-hander, 20 years old from Tampa, will pitch the top of the 8th inning. The Kernels right in this game have been out hit 9-8, trail 5-3, led going into the 4th inning 3-0, but that lead was whittled away at. The Lugnuts with 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th off starter Kevin Jepson. Ball 2 is high, and that prompts Tommy Duenas to sprint out from behind home plate to the mound, and he has a quick talk with Wayne Hedden. Monday, a 2 o'clock game, and that'll wrap up our 11-game homestand. And we'd love to see you come on out. You already heard from Eric Casey, a second-grade teacher at St. Matthew's School. If you're a Cub fan, you'll want to come out to see Ryan Dempster, who has several years of big league experience under his belt. He'll be making a rehabilitation start here on Monday afternoon. Wayne Hedden paints the outside corner with a fastball for a strike, and now ball 3 low to Robinson Chirinos. We told you about Micah Posey being sent to Rancho Cucamonga to take the spot of the injured Joan Toledo. Swing and a tip foul. That one runs the count full to Robinson Chirinos. David Austin will be joining the Kernels. Austen. David Austin, a 15th round pick out of the University of South Florida, will be joining the Kernel Ball Club. He was 4-2 with Provo last year. A bouncer to third. Matt Brown waits for it. The long throw just in time to get Robinson Chirinos. A Baltimore chop to the third baseman, Matt Brown. And Matt has had a tough day at the hot corner. He's made a couple of errors, but that was a fine play by Matt Brown. The sun is shining brightly now. There's a beautiful blue sky above, no clouds. The lights are on here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, where we still await our attendance. Hopefully it will be in the 3,000 range. Ball 1 low and away to Ryan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has walked, singled in a run, reached on an error, and scored. He has a big rooting section down below because he's from Des Moines. A curve outside to Ryan Fitzgerald. He went to Indian Hills Community College down in Centerville, Iowa, and then on to Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. Hedden is behind 3-0 as Wayne delivered low, ball 3. Wayne Hedden is on for the 7th time out of the Kernel bullpen, 0-1 with 1 save. He issues a 1-out walk to Ryan Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald on base for the 4th time in this game for Lansing. 1 on, 1 out for Drew Larson. His 2-run homer followed a Matt Brown throwing error in the 6th inning. It was his 2nd home run of the year, and it broke a 3-3 tie. Drew Larson 1 for 3 with that 2-run homer his last time up. Right-handed batter, open stance. A fastball, a strike, and a snap throw to first by Tommy Duenas, not in time to get Ryan Fitzgerald. A pretty strong breeze continues to blow from the right field foul pole to the left field foul pole. Hedden is set just above the belt. A slider in the dirt blocked by Tommy Duenas. Remember, we're slated to pick up the action here about 2:30 tomorrow afternoon after we give you coverage here on the Zone of the Indy 500, the Indianapolis 500, starting at 10 tomorrow morning. And we should pick up the action here sometime in the 2nd inning or so. That's what the plan is, at least. 1 ball, 1 strike to Drew Larson. Wayne Hedden fires to first, and the runner back hand first. Lansing is trying to up their record to 29-20. The Kernels right now are 28-19. They'll try to rally in this game, down 5-3 here in the 8th inning. A pitch out, and the runner holds at first. We may have good news on the attendance. 2,336. 2,336 here on a perfect afternoon and evening for baseball. Over 400 from St. Matthew's School. A pitch in the dirt and a wild pitch by Wayne Hedden, and that allows Ryan Fitzgerald to scamper into second without a throw. Wayne Hedden delivered a nasty slider low and outside. Tommy Duenas got a piece of it, but could not prevent a wild pitch by Wayne Hedden. The Kernels are in their navy blue caps this evening with red bills, all white uniforms with red socks. Swing and a tip foul. The pitch ran right in on Drew Larson's hands, and he swung in self-defense. The Lansing Lugnuts. They've stopped making Oldsmobiles in the state capital of Michigan. Bob Brooks told us on the Brooks at Bat dugout interview this evening, or this afternoon, that they used to roll them right off the assembly line and line them up on the streets of Lansing for the, here's a 2-run homer, I think. Yes, another 2-run homer onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion by Drew Larson, and that kind of breaks things open here in the top of the 8th inning. Lansing vaults ahead 7-3. Another 2-run homer for Drew Larson with Ryan Fitzgerald aboard, and the Lugnuts enjoy a 4-run lead, 7-3. Bob Brooks was saying that when the Oldsmobiles, which they don't make anymore in Lansing, they've discontinued that model completely. Imagine that piece of Americana disappearing. But Bob told us they used to roll them right off the assembly line in Lansing, and the city folks would look at them before they hit the dealer showrooms, and it was a source of pride in Lansing, Michigan. Carlos Mejia, 2 for 3. A leadoff double and a run scored in the 5th inning. He jackhammers one into deep left. Kimpton won't get it. It's over Nick's head to the wall, and Mejia will try for 2, and he'll make it to second base. The Lugnuts have bashed out 11 hits now, and Carlos Mejia is 3 for 4 from his number 9 hitting position in the Lansing order. Carlos Mejia with a 1-out double, and Eric Bennett, the Kernel pitching coach, out to the mound to try to settle down Wayne Hedden. 2,336 on hand here this afternoon and this evening. We hope to see you here for one of the final 2 games of this season-long 11-game homestand. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock with the Superstars, or Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Well, 7 unanswered runs plated by the visiting Lugnuts. Eric Bennett, the Colonel pitching coach, back into the first base dugout. The batter, Chris Walker, left-handed hitting speedster. 1 for 4, and he takes a strike from Wayne Hedden. Nothing doing in either club's bullpens. Matt Brown on the grass at third, and a changeup in the dirt. Did the batter go around? No, says the base umpire, Bob Davidson. Nice feature story in this morning's Gazette Sports section on Bob Davidson, written by Jeff Johnson. Look out! A pitch goes over the batter's head, out of the glove of Tommy Duenas. Is that a pass ball or a wild pitch? And it's a pass ball. Carlos Mejia advances to third as Tommy Duenas got a glove on it. 7-3 Lugnuts, top of the 8th inning. Ooh, a good-looking pitch from Hedden downstairs, ball 3 to the batter. Lansing out to even this series at a game apiece. Fisting one foul into the third base stands is Chris Walker. $2,337 with us this evening. Infield in for the Kernels, and a base hit into right gives Lansing an 8-3 lead. Chris Walker with the third straight hit for the Lugnuts. Lined it into right on a 3-2 pitch, his second hit of the game. The Lugnuts' 12th hit overall. Carlos Mejia scores to make it a 3-run 8th inning. And now the Lugnuts ahead by 5. Remember, we started play this afternoon in a tie for first in the Western Division's first half standings with King County and Peoria. Peoria, here's a chopper to the left side. Sean Rodriguez, he throws to first for the out. Terrific fielding play by Sean Rodriguez. He looked to second. Chris Walker was off on the pitch. Carlos Rojas is thrown out by Sean Rodriguez. 2 gone in the 8th inning. The batter, Brian DePerick. Peoria and King County tied atop the Western Division first half standings with the Kernels. The South Bend Silverhawks, who lead these Lugnuts by 3 games in the Eastern Division first half race. South Bend is visiting Geneva, Illinois, to play the Cougars, and then Wisconsin is at Peoria tonight. The Kernels get a right-hander up in their bullpen. Jesse Smith. Jesse Smith is starting to toss in the Colonel right field bullpen. Brian DePerick, 1 for 4 this evening, takes a strike called. Now a curve is high from Wayne Hedden. Perhaps Jesse Smith will work the top of the 9th inning. Breaking pitch from the Colonel righty is taken low and outside. The Colonels led in this game after 2 innings, 3-0. Should have scored, could have scored more in their 2-run first inning. Had the bases loaded with 1 out and let starter Bear Bay off the hook. A deep drive down the right field line, tailing, foul. Home run distance, but foul over the wall by Brian DePerick, who has 11 home runs. If Jesse Smith comes on to pitch, it'll be his first appearance since this past Thursday. He pitched a scoreless inning in the Colonel 11-1 drubbing of Dayton Thursday afternoon. Wayne Hedden, even on the count now, 2-2. Gets the batter on a slider. Strike 3 swinging on Brian DePerick. Wayne Hedden surrenders 3 runs to the Lugnuts in the top of the 8th inning. on 3 hits, a walk, a wild pitch, a pass ball. There were no Kernel errors, and the Lugnuts leave 1 man on. They've stranded 7. We go to the home half of the 8th inning, and the Kernels trail Lansing now 8-3. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Hey, man, what's up? Just getting ready to kick your butt. Right. And mess up your hair? You just wish you could look this good. Boo! Nothing but that. Hey, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to make my hair look as good as yours. I mean, who has time to schedule an appointment, let alone show up for it? Not me. I just go to Cost Cutters. I can get in whenever it's convenient for me. Nice shot. Yeah. So you're telling me you just walk into Cost Cutters and come out looking good? Well, for some of us, that comes naturally. But Cost Cutters makes it easier. They can do anything you want. A cool cut, even some color, and get some of that styling gel stuff to keep you looking good. Like me. Oh, so that's why your hair never moves. Oh, you're funny. Cost Cutters. Thanks, man. This will save me some time. Great. Then you'll have time to work on your game. Oh, yeah, that's funny.
Are you a busy guy? Save yourself time and walk into one of our area's 12 Cost Cutters whenever it's convenient for you. Then relax, because Cost Cutters will make things easy and affordable for you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Winning requires determination, energy, power. At Alliant Energy, we know the power of teamwork. Our team gives its all every day to deliver reliable power to you. We're committed to meet the growing needs of our customers. Delivering safe and environmentally friendly energy keeps us focused. Our dedication to serve our customers keeps us on our game. And that's a winning combination.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
Well, when you misidentify the byline of a wonderful story in the paper, you want to bury your head in the sand, and that's what I did. Jim Ecker wrote the wonderful story this morning in the Cedar Rapids Gazette Sports section on umpire Bob Davidson, and my apologies to Jim for misidentifying the byline. Jeff Johnson and Jim Ecker do a great job covering the Kernels, and when I read the story, I failed to look at the byline. Jim Ecker was the author of this morning's insightful story about Bob Davidson, who worked 8 years in the big leagues and then was embroiled in a labor dispute and summarily dismissed by the big leagues. Jim Ecker, the author, not Jeff Johnson, as I had previously erroneously reported. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Matt Pauley. He's 0-for-3. He's facing Juan Mateo for the first time. 8-3 Lansing. Bottom of the 8th inning. Matt Pauley, a left-handed hitter. Takes high and away, ball 2. Pauley started the afternoon hitting .303, 3 homers, 24 RBIs. Juan Mateo retired the Kernels in order in the 7th inning. Pauley hacks one foul, lines it onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Earlier this evening, Drew Larson belted a 2-run homer. I thought it went on to the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub. It went into the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub. And our guests out there, here's a swing and a miss by Pauley, but he'll reach. He'll reach. It'll be a pass ball or wild pitch. And it's a wild pitch. Matt Pauley strikes out but reaches first base on a wild pitch that got by the catcher, Alan Rick. So those two guests in the Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub, Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub, are being told by, of all people, TV9 sports reporter Kent Lee that they have won a $100 gift certificate on a spending spree at Westdale Mall. A high pop foul, and it'll be caught by the second baseman outside of first. Robinson Chirinos called off Brian DePerick, and Sean Rodriguez, first pitch swinging, is fouled out to the second baseman. 8-3 Lansing. Kernels batting in the bottom of the 8th inning. I don't know if our two guests will receive that $100 gift certificate to Westdale Mall from Westdale Mall or Mix 96.5 FM, but if they call one of those two co-sponsors, I'm sure they'll have a big smile on their face. A high can of corn hit off the end of the bat into center by Blake Balcom. It'll be caught. It is caught by Chris Walker. 2 away in the Kernel 8th inning. Blake 0-for-4. Kernels have been out hit 12-8. Trail 8-3. And you go back to that very first inning. The Kernels had starter Bear Bay on the ropes and let him off. They had scored twice. They had runners. They had the bases loaded with only 1 out. But Bear Bay struck out Blake Balcom and got Nick Kimpton to fly to center. And that was a real turning point in this game, the Kernels' failure to have a big first inning. They got a leadoff homer from Tommy Duenas in the second to lead it 3-0, but have not scored since. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Nick Kimpton from Juan Mateo. Jesse Smith is warming up in the Kernel right field bullpen. And a fastball is high and away from the right-hander to left-handed batting Nick Kimpton. Here's a deep drive into right by Kimpton for, I think, extra bases. No! A reaching out snow cone catch by the right fielder, Carlos Mejia. Nick Kimpton's bid for an extra base hit was turned back on a spectacular catch in right by Carlos Mejia. Mejia just drifted back calmly, reached out, and made a snow cone catch. No runs for the Kernels in the 8th inning, no hits. There were no Lansing errors. The Kernels leave a runner aboard, and we have stranded 8. We go to the top of the 9th inning. The Lugnuts on top of the Kernels 8-3. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This is the time of year when people are giving and receiving lots of presents. For weddings, showers, and graduations, plus the usual birthdays and anniversaries, Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling reminds you gift wrapping paper should not be disposed of in your blue recycling box. Instead, reuse your gift wrapping paper for other special occasions, or put it in your regular garbage for collection day. Remember, don't put gift wrapping paper in your blue recycling box. Thanks from Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling.
Emergency hotline, can I help you?
Yes, I need help.
All right, sir, what's the problem?
I can't taste my beer. I feel it in my mouth, but there's no taste.
Okay, sir, this is what I want you to do. Put the bottle down and step away from the beer.
Okay.
Walk straight to the corner store and pick up a 6-pack of Miller Lite.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's going to be all right.
Next time, try the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Miller, good call.
Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Good morning, Mr. Phelps. The Freedom Festival Great Cardboard Boat Regatta is Sunday, June 27th. Your mission is to build a boat from cardboard capable of racing the course 3 times. Cardboard, courtesy of Warehouser, is at the Stickle Warehousing parking lot, 308 29th Street Northeast. The Great Cardboard Boat Regatta, part of the Cedar Rapids Freedom Festival, June 24th through July 4th. Further instructions for this mission are online at www.freedomfestival.com. This recording will get very wet.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen has Jesse Smith taking over in the top of the 9th inning, 8-3 Lansing. Jesse's working for the 14th time this season. No 0-2 record, an ERA of just over 7. Jesse Smith in 24 1/3 innings has given up 27 hits. Jesse's fanned 25 and 24 1/3, walked 15, and the league's hitting .273 against Jesse Smith. Wayne Hedden, 1-inning pitched, allowed 3 runs on 3 hits, struck out 1, walked 1, and threw a wild pitch. Ryan Kalita is the pitcher of record in this game for Lansing, and starter Kevin Jepson, the pitcher of record for the Kernels. Kevin Collins, left-handed batter, 2 for 4 with a pair of doubles, loops the first pitch into deep left at the wall. Kimpton leaps, and it is a home run. An innocent home run, a high fly ball down the line and left. Just did clear the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Kevin Collins with his league-high 14th home run of the year. Now, there's no such thing as a cheap home run, but that home run did not look like a home run when it left the bat. The wind helped it a little bit. The wind kept pushing it, and it went over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion wall by about a foot, despite a leaping effort at the 16-foot-high padded wall by Nick Kimpton. Leadoff home run for Kevin Collins off of Jesse Smith his 14th of the year. Kevin Collins has the Lugnut 13th hit of this evening, and now Lansing's ahead 9-3 here in the ninth inning. The batter, Alan Rick, he struck out 3 or 4 times. He tops one over the mound. A tough play for Howie Kendrick. Howie makes a throw just in time to get the catcher, Alan Rick. Terrific play at second by Howie Kendrick. One away in the Lansing ninth inning.
Second baseman, Robinson Chirinos.
Robinson Chirinos doubled in a run and scored in the Lugnut 2-run fourth inning that cut the Kernel lead to 3-2. A fastball at the knees from Jesse Smith is a strike called to the right-handed batter Chirinos. The Kernel newcomer is warming up, and that newcomer is David Austin. David Austin's warming up in the Kernel right field bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Chirinos. Jesse Smith winds and delivers. Curveball, a beauty, a strike called, and he's ahead of the batter, 1-2. The Superstars will be here tomorrow. Gates open at 1. A pitch fisted to short. Charging is Sean Rodriguez. He unloads from between the mound and second on the grass to retire Robinson Chirinos. 2 away in the Lansing ninth inning, 9-3 Lugnuts.
Outfielder Ryan Fitzgerald.
Ryan Fitzgerald has reached 4 times. A walk, an RBI single, then an error, and then a walk. He has scored twice. Right-handed hitter. Jesse Smith pumps in a strike at the knees to Ryan Fitzgerald. The Kernels will try to rally, but trail by 6 here in the ninth inning. Our record at home, 17-10. Ball 1, low and away from Jesse Smith. Lansing on the road is even up, 12-12. Outfield plays. Ryan Fitzgerald straight away. A breaking pitch is hit off the end of the bat for a base hit. Down the right field line, Fitzgerald holds on. He has reached base for the 5th time, and his cheering section down below comes alive once again. Ryan Fitzgerald hit it off the end of the bat, dumps it down the right field line, and he has reached base with his 2nd hit of the evening, the 14th hit for Lansing. Drew Larson, 2 for 4 with a pair of 2-run homers. He broke a 3-3 tie with a 2-run bomb into the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub in the 6th inning. Then hit one onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in the 8th inning to make it 8-3 Lansing. Lugnuts lead at 9-3. 1 ball, 1 strike to Drew Larson. Right-handed hitter, slightly open stance. A chopper to the right side. Matt Pauley backhands it near his shoe top. Steps on first and the inning. Drew Larson bounces out to first. In the 9th, 1 run for the Lugnuts on 2 hits. A leadoff homer by Kevin Collins, his league-high 14th of the year. There were no Kernel errors. Lansing leaves a runner. They've stranded 8. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Kernels trail the Lugnuts 9-3. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Unless you have a crystal ball that really works, nobody can foresee all the risks that might become realities. Most of us don't have a foolproof crystal ball, though. That's why it's sensible to consider the calamities that might occur to your car, home, business, or life, and insure yourself against the worst. See Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent, about a well-planned insurance program for your individual needs. The future is uncertain. See your Pekin insurance agent, Phil Andrews at Weidenhammer Andrews Agency. It's spring planting time, and garden treasures await you at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. For the best selection in the area, plus all the free expert advice you'll need to make them grow, choose Peck's. The greenhouses at Peck's are filled with beautiful colors, gorgeous hanging baskets, rose bushes, patio pots, and blooming annual flower plants, including the best and newest blooms for sun or shade. Grow your own vegetables and herbs from Peck's large selection of favorite vegetable and tomato plant varieties that are ready to plant. Peck's also has hundreds of varieties of hardy perennial plants, plus acres of trees, shrubs, and evergreens for landscapes. Contact Peck's for an estimate on your landscape project. Visit Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, where their knowledgeable staff is ready to answer plant and gardening questions. Peck's, growing garden treasures since 1956, at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Roads Northeast.
Bottom of the ninth inning, Tommy Duenas owns 2 of the Kernel 8 hits. He slugged his 4th home run of the year in the 2nd inning, leading off to give the Kernels a 3-0 lead. Let's see if we can score for the first time since Duenas' home run. We're trailing 9-3, bottom of the ninth, and Tommy pops the first pitch high in the air, foul above the above the Lugnut third base dugout. The Superstars are a group of oversized gyrating mascots that entertain between innings, and whether you're young or old, girl or boy, man or woman, you will be laughing in stitches tomorrow watching the crazy, unpredictable antics of the Superstars. A ground ball to deep short. Backhanded it is Carlos Rojas, and he gets Tommy Duenas for the first out of the Kernel ninth inning. Kevin Jepson deserved a better fate here this afternoon. 6 innings pitched. He allowed 5 runs, 4 earned on 8 hits. He fanned 9, walked 1. We've been out hit 14-8. Juan Mateo is working his 3rd inning of relief. Ryan Kalita pitched the 6th inning, and he is the pitcher of record for Lansing. Strike 1 called to Quan Cosby. He tripled and scored in the Kernel 2-run first inning. Ball 1 outside to Quan. Now a chopper to second. Chirinos has it, and on to first. 2 gone in the Kernel ninth inning. The Lugnuts are within 1 out of tying this series at a game apiece. Howie Kendrick is 2 for 4. He tripled in Quan Cosby in the Kernel first and then scored on a Bobby Wilson base hit into center. Howie, a right-handed batter. Lines one into right. Back goes Mejia. He's there and has it. Lansing is even the series at a game apiece. Lansing has even this series at a game apiece with a 9-3 thumping of the Kernels. Howie Kendrick flying out to deep right to end the ninth inning. The Kernels go down in order in the bottom of the ninth inning. 9-3 Lugnuts will return with totals, highlights, a lot more next on the Kernel Curtain Call. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
For the 2nd year in a row, the Iowa Associated Press named Scott Unash the best damn play-by-play announcer in the state. Catch his stellar play-by-play of local high school sports. His sports talk show weekdays at 3, Friday nights from Hawkeye Downs, and the Hy-Vee Coaches Corner Saturday mornings at 9. When does this guy sleep? Scott knows sports, and once again, he's AP's top play-by-play announcer of the year. One more reason why you need to keep it in the Zone. ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll. Hey, Kernels. Hey, 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 Kernels.
2 lucky fans will win a year's supply of bratwurst, a tailgate grill, grilling utensils, an apron, and a t-shirt, courtesy of Clement Sausages, on Monday, May 31st, when the Kernels host the Lansing Lugnuts. Game time is 2 o'clock. Get your tickets today at the Veterans Memorial Stadium box office or call 896-7560.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll. It's time for the Kernel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Kernels game, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
The kids from St. Matthews had a great time here tonight. They're running the bases, and the Kernels and Lugnuts even in this series now a game apiece as the Kernels scored 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Little did we know that would be the only runs we would score. The Lansing Lugnuts rallied for 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, then a 2-run homer by Drew Larson in the 6th inning. That came against starter Kevin Jebsen following an error at third by Matt Brown, and that broke a 3-3 tie. Drew Larson then belted a 2-run homer in the 8th inning. The Lugnuts scored 3 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th to put it away. 9-3 Lansing. The Kernels got off to a good start this afternoon, a 5 o'clock start. Quan Cosby tripled into left center. Howie Kendrick then tripled into right to score Quan. Bobby Wilson followed with a base hit into center to make it 2-0 Kernels. Matt Brown walked. Bobby going to second after Matt Pauley flew to left. Sean Rodriguez walked. And then the turning point in the game, the Kernels with the bases loaded, 1 out, could not add to their 2-0 lead in the first inning. The Kernels got a leadoff homer from Tommy Duenas in the second to take a 3-0 lead, but then the Lugnuts did not let us score the rest of the afternoon and evening. Lansing, 9 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They left 8. The Kernels, 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. We stranded 8 as well. The winning pitcher for the Lugnuts was their starter, Bear Bay. He's now 5-3. The Kernel loser was Kevin Jebsen. He slips to 4-2. A save for Juan Mateo. 3 scoreless innings out of the Lugnut bullpen, his first save of the season. This game only took 2 hours and 39 minutes to complete, and it was played before 2,336 spectators. 9-3 Lugnuts. Up next on the Colonel Curtain Call, our Liberty Bank star plays of the game. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Kernels fans, your Cedar Rapids Taco Bell restaurants have something new for you to cheer about this season. A Taco Bell 10 spot. When the Kernels score 10 or more runs in any game this season, you'll score beef tacos for just 39 cents the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell. That's a savings of 50 cents per taco, limit 10 per customer. Remember, when the Kernels put up a Taco Bell 10 spot by plating 10 or more runs in any game, you get up to 10 39-cent beef tacos the very next day at any Cedar Rapids Taco Bell.
Look around you. Everyone's different. Some of us are tall, many of us are short. If you think about it, there are many important differences among people. That's what makes us all individuals. Insurance needs are individual, too. Talk to your Pekin Insurance Agency, Sheets Forrest Draper Insurance in Marion, about the proper insurance coverages for your individual needs. See Scott Draper at Sheets Forrest Draper in Marion about insurance for your home, auto, life, health, or business. You can depend on your hometown professionals with Pekin Insurance.
The kids from St. Matthew's School continue to have a thrill of their late spring as they run the bases following the Lugnut 9-3 thumping of the Kernels here this afternoon and this evening. Our Liberty Bank star play of the game brought to you by Iowa's fastest growing community bank, Liberty Bank. It took place with Quan Cosby at the plate in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Here's our Liberty Bank star play of the game. Quan Cosby at third with nobody out. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Let's get back to... Okay, well, we'll go with this as our... Quan had tripled, and Howie Kendrick came to the plate. Bottom of the first inning, Howie Kendrick shoots one down the right field line. Extra bases. Kernels lead at 1-0. It gets by Carlos Mejia as Cosby scores. Kendrick rounds second. He's trying for third. Back-to-back triples. 1-0 Kernels. Back-to-back triples by Cosby and Kendrick have given the Kernels an early 1-0 lead. Yes, it did. The Kernels built a 3-0 lead after 2 innings, but those were the last runs we would score as Lansing comes from behind to rout the Kernels 9-3. That is our Liberty Bank star play of the game. We have a full slate of games to report on next on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Toyota Financial Services of Cedar Rapids understands the importance of reading in the lives of our community's children. That's why they're proud to fund the 6th annual Toyota Financial Services Kernel Summer Reading Program. The generous support of Toyota Financial Services will result in Kernel players conducting a record 32 elementary school assemblies this spring to encourage girls and boys to read throughout the summer. Their reading accomplishments will be recognized by Toyota Financial Services with fabulous rewards. Toyota Financial Services, a true hero to the Kernels and the youth of our community.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
Great to have you back with us as you spend time with us on the Zone Memorial Day weekend. The Kernel homestand record slips to 6-3 following a Lansing 9-3 triumph here this afternoon and this evening. State Farm Insurance agents Lanny Peterson, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Gary Schubat are proud to bring us this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We have 4 finals in the American League. Let's start off at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox bowed to Seattle 5-4. At Kauffman Stadium, the Royals knocked off the Twins 5-2 this afternoon. This afternoon, good news from the south side of Chicago. Our parent club, the Anaheim Angels, broke a 4-game losing skid as they stomped the White Sox 5-1. At Sky Dome, it was the Blue Jays 6, the Rangers 2. That's a final. They're in the top of the 9th at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. The Yankees on top of the Devil Rays 5-3. Oakland leads the Indians in the bottom of the 5th at Jacobs Field 6-2. And Baltimore is ahead of Detroit 7-3 at Comerica Park. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. We have a couple of finals from this afternoon in the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Braves pounded the Phillies at Citizens Bank Ballpark this afternoon 9-3. At Minute Maid Park, it was the Cardinals clobbering the Astros 10-3. They're in the top of the 10th inning at Pro Player Stadium in Miami. The Mets and Marlins are tied 2-2. At Miller Park, Milwaukee leads San Diego 3-1. They're in the top of the 7th. The Reds lead Montreal at Olympic Stadium 2-1 in the top of the 7th. In the top of the 6th at PNC Park, the Pirates ahead of the Cubs 6-5. Later tonight, the Diamondbacks and Dodgers play at Chavez Ravine, and the Giants host the Rockies at SBC Park in San Francisco. Now, that's our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The 2 teams that entered this afternoon's action tied with us atop the Western Division first half standings are in action. Peoria is hosting Wisconsin, and Peoria leads the Timber Rattlers at O'Brien Field 2-0 in the 4th inning. How is Kane County doing? They were in a 3-way tie with the Kernels. They're tied with the Kernels in Peoria. Kane County and South Bend tied at 1 in the top of the 5th inning at Philip Elstrom Stadium. So the Kernels have to hope that South Bend can beat King County and that Wisconsin can rally to beat Peoria. Otherwise, the Kernels may find themselves not in a tie for first place, but in second place tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, come on out and enjoy the crazy, unpredictable antics of the Superstars. They're oversized, gyrating mascots that emulate former big league stars like Cal Ripken and Mark McGuire. And Ken Giraffe Jr. will be here, Harry Canary, and Clammy Sosa. They are just a wonderful entertainment act, and we hope you'll be a part of the fun here tomorrow. The gates open at 1. The game starts at 2. If things go as planned, we'll pick up the action in the 2nd or 3rd inning with the Indianapolis 500 wrapping up here on the Zone about 2:30. We will join the broadcast here from the new Veterans Memorial Stadium right after the Indianapolis 500 broadcast. Deb Williams is our in-studio engineer. Deb, thanks for all of your great work. Lansing evens this 4-game series at a game apiece with a 9-3 trouncing of the Kernels this evening. We'll be with you around 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, joining the game in progress. The gates open at 1. We start at 2. The Superstars will be here. Thanks for being with us on your Saturday night Memorial Day weekend. So long from the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming, already in progress.